Apprentice, you've reached Nar Shaddaa safely. Good. Don't let the glittering towers fool you. Misery and desperation rule the slums below. And desperation can drive people to many things. Remember that in your attempts to recover the artifact here.
Any idea where I should start?
In this case, the who is more important than the where. The artifact, a pendant called the Eye of Tulak, belongs to the Sith Lord Palladius. He's lived here many years, converting Nar Shaddaa's poor and suffering into zealous followers. His own cult.
He sounds like a very cunning man. I admire that.
Cunning, devious, persuasive, yes, and atrociously stubborn. Palladius leads his cult from seclusion, but you can draw him out. I've contacted 2 of his former cult members. They're in hiding now, fearing retribution, but hungry for revenge. They should prove useful.
How did you convince these fools to help?
I have encouraged their cooperation with the assurance that once Palladius is gone, the cult is theirs to lead. Circumstances change, of course. Do whatever you feel is necessary with Palladius and his cult. The artifact is all that matters.
Well, okay. But only if I could talk to the most amazing character ever. Bob.
Sunflower.
I forgot what a delight it is to roam the galaxy and feast on its energies. I have not felt this full since the battles of Yinjba, where I followed masters into war and feasted on the armies of Jedi.
I'm not familiar with In or Chabosh.
I was in the days before Tulak Horde was dark lord of the Sith. Those Jedi laid siege to an Imperial stronghold. Tulak Horde broke the siege single-handedly. And he pressed forward to the Jedi-held Chabosh, leaving nothing but Jedi blood in his wake. I never lacked force to feed on those days.
Continue to follow me, and I promise those days will return.
I doubt you'll be able to live up to those words, little Sith. Still, when I fight at your side, I begin to feel like I did then. None could defeat us. Ah, the good old days. Ah, when things were better. When I was eating Jedi left and right. Yum, yum, yum. Don't worry, I won't provoke the Dishad. Wink. So, good morning, good afternoon. You're probably wondering why I'm so late coming back. So I did exactly what I said I was going to do. I laid down, actually closed my eyes and everything, and then woke up and it was 2:20. For those of you not familiar with the significance of that, I start the stream back up at 2, that is to say 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, mea culpa. Because, whoops. Anyways, and I'm back. Had a donut. That was nice. Donuts are cool. So, I don't know if we're going to manage it, but I'm hoping to actually knock out Nar Shaddaa today. Let's see what we manage, shall we?
Where do you think you're sending that scan?
Forgive the unorthodox introductions. Moro Vizon, head of special operations for the Imperial Diplomatic Service. I need assistance plucking a thorn from the Empire's side. It's a trivial task for a group of your ability, but I want the world to see your power.
The world already fears me, as should you.
Of course, I meant no disrespect. I was tasked with gathering allies on Nar Shaddaa. Hutt clans, corporations, gangsters. But one man has resisted our entreaties. Ukabi is the local leader of the Exchange, a galaxy-spanning criminal organization specializing in high-tech vice. Ukabi and the Exchange refuse to join us.
What does the Empire want from these gangsters?
The Exchange spends more money than most governments on spies, slicers, and scientists. Anyone they can't buy, they kidnap. They would have been valuable friends, but Ukabi drugs and tortures my messengers. We need to make an example of him.
What would have to be done?
I want his army decimated, his arms caches looted, his chemical refineries razed to the ground. I want a show of force so overwhelming that no one on Nar Shaddaa will ever deny the Empire again.
That's...
If you would grant us this favor.
Tell me what you're offering.
The diplomatic service will compensate you fully for your time. In addition, the wealth of the Exchange is yours to claim. The Exchange operates out of the Corellian sector of the city. Your path of destruction begins there. When you're through crippling the operations, you can find me at my command post. I'll be watching the chaos from my chambers.
Okay. Let's see how this ranks, shall we? Yeah, I think we could absolutely finish the planetary primary and secondaries. The bonus series is going to drag that down a bit. I don't know if we're going to manage that. Could you imagine how much further behind we'd be if we were doing every heroic mission? My god. You're probably wondering why we haven't even reviewed the heroic missions. The truth is, I've actually been thinking about this a little bit, and in the overwhelming majority of cases, there's nothing to review.
Please use all products only as...
So, we've talked about different types of quests over the years, and one of them at the very bottom is what I call tasks. Tasks are things that are exactly what they sound like. They almost have no story, or they have such a lack of story that to not even be noteworthy. And the only reason they exist is to be a way to gain rep, or gold, or guild, or experience, or whatever it is you're actually interested in.
Have a safe and pleasant stay.
Heroic quests are tasks. And by sheer virtue of being so vacuous of anything worthy of discussion, I'm not even sure they would be a plus or a minus. They're simply there. Where's the... Sorry, I'm trying to download a demo here. There it is. Hey, Zektaft. Welcome back, Hazardous. Yes, I think this music is perfect for Nar Shaddaa. What's the issue? Now I've got an idea for a Mario Kart stage set on Nar Shaddaa. Actually, I've got an idea for like 5. Heh! I'm going here, I think. There we go. We'll be doing Bounty Hunter next. We'll be doing Agent last. Yeah, I know, right, Blair Deville? Wouldn't that be just swoop racing?
Oh, Destress, no. Dear brutish Destress. And Riley, so beautiful and intelligent. You were like children to me, which is why it pains me to do this.
You can cut the act, Palladius. You never cared about any of your children.
We don't need a tyrant for a father.
Ah, well said. Marvelous last words. Truly, I expected nothing less, which is what makes this so hard.
Uh-huh.
Now, if you'll excuse me, my other children would like to play with you.
Oh, hello. You call yourselves the Screaming Blade? Really? What's affliction? Is that affliction? What do I have that does affliction? That's an interesting ability. Anyways.
What have we here? The cavalry, looks like. Appreciate the help, but I had it under control.
Easy, Destress. This isn't some holo you're talking to. My lord.
I'm not a king, Riley.
You are most kind, my lord.
There was a lady Sith a while back, Darth Sash. Said she'd send someone to help us out. You it?
Taking down oppressive cult leaders is a favorite hobby of mine.
Good, because it makes me sick to think Palladius is out there while I'm cooped up in this rat hole.
Palladius built his empire on the backs of the poor. Said he'd save them from their miserable lives.
Said we'd make a mighty sword and strike against our enemies? It was all lies. It was all lies, but you win the support of the poor, you knock Palladius's legs out from under him.
How do I win the love of these poor, downtrodden souls?
What Palladius did was find the biggest, most vicious gang on the block and crush them. Right now, the gang's the Kraits, named after the Krayt dragon on Tatooine. Their leader, Sabin, thinks he's descended from one. Take out Sabin, and the masses will see you as a regular hero.
Descended from a Krayt dragon.
He'll need to be a dragon if he hopes to stand against me.
With all respect, taking out the Kraits wins you followers only until the next gang rises up. But there may be another way. A plague called the Rot afflicts the poorest of Nar Shaddaa's poor. But it can be cured, and the person who does so will be regarded not just as a hero, but as a prophet.
Prophet? Now that's more to my taste.
I'm glad you approve, my lord. The cure to the Rot is owned by Titus Neutronics. You'll have to steal it from their warehouse, then distribute it.
In this case, I'd rather be loved than feared.
Good, but be careful. The warehouse is heavily
Continuing
guarded,
to be evil.
but if you can steal the cure and distribute it in the Corellian sector, you'll own the lower classes.
I love it. Okay. Let's see, I need to go there and there. Alright. Actually, I think I could just do this. So let's do just this. And get some Nar Shaddaa music going.
Welcome. Please select an available travel route. Have a safe and pleasant stay.
No. I mean, think about it. Now I have an idea for a ecumenopolis run by dwarves. Maybe not just maybe not a whole ecumenopolis. Maybe just a city. You know, like this. Yes, I know this is an ecumenopolis. Shut up. You get my point. Making quite an impression. I know. I've seen the details. I'm a ghost, premier information broker. Intel's the business, and business is booming.
Search my history, and you may damage your sanity.
I wouldn't dream of invading on your privacy, my lord. In fact, I have intel that may pique your interest. Usually I charge top credit. For you, this one's free. My scanners picked up recent additions to Nar Shaddaa's information market. Top secret Imperial military reports. Information to be sold to the highest bidder.
Who's responsible for this?
Culprits cover their tracks well, but I tracked the encryption. Looks like a slicer gang's to blame. Sale's almost final. However, there's still time to find those crate slicers and recover the Empire's precious secrets.
How much are you being paid?
Oh, you got me. I receive a broker's fee once you recover the report. See, I have a deal with the Empire. Once you find the reports, hand them over to Intelligence Officer Keeling. I'm sure he'll be delighted to see you. Oh, there you go. An underground sci-fi city of Dwarvenish. I like that. I like that. Oh, no, I've got it. There's a moon, right? And on approach to the moon, it just looks like any old moon. But once you get to the moon, you land and then go inside, and it's a hollowed-out moon. And the entire interior is the cityscape on the I forget what that's called, but you know what I'm talking about. Like the interior outside. The interior inside? There's actually a term for that. I can't think of what it's called, but you know. There's just cityscape everywhere. No, like there's an actual astronomic term for that. I can't think of it. But anyways. So Latario asked an interesting question before the lunch break. And that question is, why do you have to sneeze the moment you start answering questions, Laura? Done, nose? Can I stop sneezing now?
Excuse me, I'm on surveillance duty. The things Hutts do behind closed doors.
This is important. Slicers were selling intelligence reports on the black market. I recovered them.
These are my reports. If these had been leaked... Intelligence thanks you. Wait, these reports are embedded with slicing signatures. This isn't some gang. It's the mark of the Republic's Strategic Information Service.
Are you absolutely certain?
The signatures don't lie. The SIS hid behind the Slicer gang. But why? Maybe to disguise a listening post. Maybe they're listening to us right now. You hear me, SIS filth? My friends here are coming to grind your operation into the ground. Isn't that right?
There won't be a heart left beating.
The SIS signatures contain coordinates. Go there. Destroy the listening post. Kill everyone.
That's another line you're gonna have to get used to hearing a bunch. When we get to Sith Warrior. There won't be a heart left beat. It's yeah. It's pretty common. Okay, I think I can actually breathe and talk without sneezing every 10 seconds. What was I talking about? God. Right, Lothario asked a question. Good lord. But first, hi Alex. Sorry, you caught me at an unusual time. Good God. Yeah, so... I'm glad you liked the West of Loathing run, by the way. Oh no, you know, I don't know, Damashi. I don't have an answer for that. What I do know is that Lothario asked if we were going to do a Dragon Age rewrite, which we're not, just to be clear. But if that was in the books, what would be the bedrock of that? You know, what, so, for those of you who didn't hear me talk about that, there was a... the way I approach all the rewrite projects is I tunnel down in the narrative to what I consider the most bedrock concept that exists in order to be able to identify it and then work up from there. You know, build the bedrock, build the base bones of how the setting works, then we can do everything else, right? So the question in this case was, what is the bedrock of the Dragon Age setting? The suggestion offered was the Fade, which I disagree with completely. I think we all know that Sandal... No, I'm not going to give a meme answer. The actual answer is the Maker. We need to establish in a Dragon Age hypothetical remake, does the Maker exist? If yes, what is the Maker? Once we've identified what the Maker is, we have to identify who the Maker is. Establishing that informs basically everything else, including the Fade and the Darkspawn. So, that would be the actual bedrock. That would be as far down as we can go. Once that's established, we can figure out how the ancient elves worked, how the ancient mages worked, how Darkspawn work, why Darkspawn work, etc., etc., etc. Again, the whole point of the bedrock process is to dig down as far as possible, specifically for the purpose and intent of being able to build back up from there. And everything else sitting on it pretty much defines it as bedrock. You're bold calling us now. I don't like bold.
Godoba, please. I have good news.
Do not attempt to dissimulate.
No dissimulation intended. But I wanted you to meet someone. My friends, allow me to introduce the Diplomatic Services allies on Nar Shaddaa, the Shadow Syndicate.
So this is who the Empire's been cavorting with.
I'll show you around the room. Godoba the Hutt, owner of the Club Vertica Casino and 5 city sectors. Your ship is docked in his spaceport.
Yes, and you were standing in my building.
Barco Ti, Chomash of the Nar Shaddaa Labor Alliance. There are no better slavers in the galaxy.
A pleasure.
And last, DXTX, primary hub of the DX Annihilator network.
Your destructive prowess is respectable. Negotiations permitted.
Together, they represent key powers. Ukabi and the Exchange could have joined them, but thanks to your strike, we needn't worry about the Exchange anymore.
But I'm still bloodthirsty.
Some insects keep crawling after being stomped.
You may be more right than you know. This woman has lied to you.
What?
Does she even know what she's done? Your strike may have crippled the Exchange business operations, but every time a fool attacks Ukabi's holding, devastation follows in Ukabi.
Where many upstarts blundered before, and now we all pay the price.
What makes Ukabi so great a threat? I'm sure they're exaggerating the situation.
My informants tell me Ukabi is preparing for war against the Empire and its allies.
He's preparing an army of Steam-enhanced killers and cybernetically linked assassins. Detonite droid production has increased.
Ah, Very well. If Ukabi won't learn his lesson, then the Empire can handle his dying blows.
Who knew you could have so much fun playing with criminals?
My sources report Exchange death squads on the move. As you destroyed his assets, he'll destroy ours. The promenade, factories, slave pens.
Death squads in casinos slaughtering customers, massacring my slaves.
Drawing energy for his chemical enhancement facilities. He augments soldiers for battle. He must be stopped now.
I'm not a strategist. Your recommendation, my lord?
Really? Again, I'm gonna go with the evil option.
Let the Exchange target civilians while we carve out their heart. These enhancement facilities, what are they?
You'll have to destroy the tanks and face their creations.
I'll alert our forces here and keep the Shadow Syndicate in line. We can discuss this when you return.
If they survive. Oh yeah, she is super out of her depth. It's almost funny. Almost. My first thought, not that I've ever thought about a Dragon Age Rewrite, guess we're not doing one, but my first automatic thought for the Maker is the Maker totally existed probably as one of the ancient elves. One of the God King kind of elves. You know, the horrifically negligent group. Hey, Bragwin. Technically. Narrator. She did not have it under control. Oh, yeah, no. This is exactly the kind of Imperial who would make Thrawn angry. See, that's what I'm wondering. My knee-jerk thought is not to make the Maker the chief of the elves. But there's too many different directions we could go within that, and I'm not sure which one I like best. For example, we could make it so that the Maker never existed in any sense, but instead was just a lie, a misinformation campaign, or just an internal religion that the elves either told to their slaves or even just to themselves that they believed in, which was just false from the word go. And, of course, when the elves were wiped out and the Fade was created, or whatever happens, because, again, it's a rewrite, it doesn't have to follow the canon, but whatever was happening, happened, and then vague knowledge and understanding of this great and powerful Maker, you know, people start finding artifacts, probably elven artifacts, probably actually magically enchanted elven artifacts, listed with being the Maker's breath, or the Maker's sword, or the Maker's coffee maker. And you get the idea, right? They're like, oh my god, the Maker was so great and amazing. You can make a religion out of this. And then they did. We could also make it so that the Maker was literally just an invention of, what's her face? I can't think of her name. Joan of Arc. I can't think of her name. So, going to war against Andraste, that's her name, thank you. You know what I meant when I said Joan of Arc. Making it so that some woman's like, let me walk this back. Let's say you've got an evil, oppressive power and you want to rise up against them. But you need there to be a singular identity that all of your followers can adhere to, so you can make one unified force to push against the oppressive power. Now, you can invent a story about a Maker and make this a holy crusade rather than forcing this into something as simple as a slave rebellion.
You have made an unforgivable mistake.
It's not necessary, Ukabi. We should not be enemies.
You began this conflict. All our businesses suffer. Now you all die.
Ukabi, I've been waiting to meet you a long time.
The attackers. You have weakened my forces, but my death squads wade through blood as we speak. I will make masks of your skulls before dawn.
You diplomat, this is all your
I know,
fault.
but I've been working on a strategy.
Really, does it involve pointing us at the problem and then standing back and hoping for the best?
What's the next job?
Our guards captured a few of the gangsters. The exchange is based in the tunnels running under this sector. Maybe now's the time to push. Wipe them out, their leaders, along with Ukabi.
The DX Annihilator Network approves. Perhaps I think I speak on behalf of the Shadow Syndicate when I ask, with due respect, can this be done?
Do not underestimate the power that flows through me, Slaver.
No, certainly not.
You'll have to take out the members of Ukabi's inner circle. All of them are cybernetically enhanced.
Okay.
Custom-built masterworks, equal to a dozen Mandalorian warriors.
Really?
When they're dead, proceed to Ukabi's chambers. Do whatever you have to do.
Like I said, pointing us at the problem and hoping for the best. I wasn't really joking. That's absolutely her strategy here. I actually like this quest. Really. Uh-oh. We lost Arcana. No! We must hurry through the next quest before he can recover. It's the only way. So, sorry to jump in on this, Latario, but when we're talking about the rewrite and I suggest something and you say, but that contradicts canon, maybe I need to remind you what a rewrite is. No, yeah, this is a good and competent story. The way we can summarize it is rather amusing. By summarize, I mean conclude it. God, I even got a nap in. I didn't even mean to get a nap in, but I got a nap in. That being said... See, my point is... Okay, so let's rewind a little bit, because we're getting too much into the weeds. That's a very important thing when it comes to doing a rewrite, or honestly, anything. Try not to get too involved into the minor details before you've laid out the big brushstrokes. To put this into artist's perspective, imagine you want to paint a picture of like a massive cityscape, right? So imagine you've sat down and you've started sketching out, you know, some of it. And then if you zoom, and then you end up getting really lost in trying to design this one specific city block and how many windows are on the building and what color the adverts should be on that particular building and all that. That's stuff that'll have to be done at some point. But in my opinion, you shouldn't do that, especially writing-wise, early on. That's later. You want to start zoomed out, then you want to work your way in. So I feel like we need to rewind a bit more and just establish, does the maker exist in any extent whatsoever before we even move forward? And I think making the maker not exist as a literal thing, like an entity or a sentient being, is probably the best move there. My opinion. You have the throne quite literally be empty. So if we determine that the maker does not exist at all, now we have a bunch of questions which are prompted. We did it!
In fact, a Republic-aligned group of war veterans called the Star Dogs are preparing to strike at you.
The what?
You better be right about this.
I am not prone to exaggeration. Their anti-Imperial sentiment is focused on you like a laser. Being Republic, they have a certain distaste for direct assassination jobs. But they're alarmed, and contracting with the Nar Shaddaa Exchange to have you killed.
The more challenging, the better.
Confidence is good, but there's no reason to fight at the time and place they choose. I ask while you're there, to take the Exchange's dossier on their hitmen. Can you do this?
Sure.
We can't waste any more time.
I agree.
Sorry. So, and I understand, Latar. I wanted to voice that out loud because let's just say that during the Star Trek rewrite, which we're well into production at this point, a lot of people were arguing things like, you can't do such and such because blank. And it's like, it's not canon anymore. The whole point is to change. So it's a common thing, and I just wanted to get that out there for anybody listening. Anyways. So let's assume the Maker does not exist as a real, tangible enemy. Or enemy. Wow. Entity. Okay. Now that we've established that, well, let's go ahead and work up a little bit. So the immediate questions that occur to me are things like, do we want the Ancient Elves to exist at all? Because they don't have to. In fact, to be completely blunt, it could be easily argued that the Ancient Elves didn't really even become relevant to the series until Dragon Age Inquisition. These DLCs. Now that's debatable, but again, that's the next question. So we got Ancient Elves, and the Ancient Elves, by nature, connect immediately to the Fade. We also have to think about the Black City. So what we do at the Black City is a huge question, especially considering it's one of the biggest question marks still left in the franchise. We still don't actually know what the Black City is. And once we've established the Fade in the Black City, we can move up one more step to just plain old magic and how magic operates. Because the entire thing about mages being weak to demons and all that, well, that's connected to how the Fade operates. So once we establish the Fade, we can move up a step. You see the whole process here? I know, it sounds like I'm talking down to you. I really don't mean it that way. I've been told that recently. Why are you so arrogant? It's because I've, through experience and practice, known that rather than just assuming you understand everything I say and speaking vaguely, it's best if I go in and explain myself. Hell, that's probably true just in normal operations, never mind on stream. But anyways, so, yeah, you say that, Latario. I kind of hope so, but at this point, I don't actually have any faith on that. Really. We'll see. But anyways. So, what is the Fade? So we take one step up, and it's like, alright. So let's start with the most obvious thing. Does the Fade exist? Pause. You're probably thinking, but the Fade is iconic to Dragon Age. Remember the process. Everything has to be questioned. We talked about this with Star Wars. Even the Force is not inherently, of its own existence, automatically going to exist within the rewrite. Everything has to have a purpose. Everything must be tested and then proven. So, do we keep the Fade? Well, the answer is yes. Not because it's an automatic thing, but because there's just too much that is A, iconic about the Fade to Dragon Age, and B, there's a ton of storytelling potential with the Fade. So, next step is actually to define the Fade, which is probably more than we can do right now in the 5 minutes I'm just running through a hypothetical thing, which I'm not even doing.
Is anybody there? This is Moro Vizon. Please, respond.
Can I help you?
I'm here. The inner circle of the Exchange is dead, but their leader is missing.
That's because he's here! Ukabi is here! Someone's hold us out. Get back as soon as you can. We can't hold them.
Alright, so Jaluta, you're fired. Alright, now. Hi, Zadas. Hang on, so that's it here, right? Yeah, so let's warp to here, I think? I do agree, though. The Fade simply has too much narrative potential. And that's the way I tend to think of it, you know, everything... I tend to think of things in how many stories we can tell with a specific thing. This is actually not where I wanted to be. I wanted to be down there. Me too. I'm so looking forward to it. By the way, for those of you who don't... I should be plugging this every day. Tomorrow, at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be doing a pre-stream leading up to the 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time launch of the LTTP Theater. I hope at least some of you will be there. I'm very excited and extremely nervous for this one. Everyone's gonna hate it, so.
What shall it be? Does one die? Do both?
Kill her. That was our deal. Kill her.
Horrible worm.
You are both wretched, and now you here to rescue the woman and the traitor. I am Ukabi.
I am your destruction.
Look upon my body. Cortosis skin grafts. Intravenous colto injection system. Holographic targeting array. You are only mortal. I will always prevail.
Okay. Well, let's talk to I Will Always Prevail here. And he's dead. Oh, hang on. Yeah, we've literally already killed Scotia at this point. Canonically.
I don't think he's getting up. Colto injections can't restore a dead man.
Very good. You should be proud to say that you saved us from that monster.
Don't you dare talk. You brought him here. You tried to get me killed.
What else would you expect from a Hutt?
It was not only me. The Shadow Syndicate agreed. Marco wanted it most of all.
Maybe, but you made the call to Ukabi.
Only after you made him our enemy. You cut our profits in half. This is business. The Empire's been a good partner, but this woman is incompetent and interfering. You've seen this.
Perhaps you have a point.
How dare you?
Kill her. Let business proceed. Let a smarter girl take her place. And the Shadow Signet will reward you. Our wealth and power are yours.
Your wealth and power are worthless.
I'd like him alive, if you would. He's a powerful creature, and he may still serve a purpose.
How hard can you punch?
I'd like to hold him as an example before the Shadow Syndicate.
To be able to punch... Jesus Christ.
I am deeply grateful for your aid. I know you must have other business on this world.
Now that Ukabi and the Shadow Syndicate are dealt with, what next?
The war against the Exchange will continue, but our focus can move to other enemies. Thank you again for your assistance, and when Nar Shaddaa finally falls to the Empire, we'll remember the role you played.
Yeah, I went for killing her, because, first of all, intelligent evil, and second of all, she's an incompetent moron who has consistently shown to not learn from her mistakes. You make one mistake, that's whatever. You make mistake after mistake after mistake, yeah, it's okay, you need to die. So I chose to kill her, and in so doing, ensure the loyalty of the Syndicate. Is that? Yep, okay. So, thank you, Oxymoron. Always appreciate. I will run into a pack of mobs and jot that down for Modern Warfare 1. I mean, yeah, Kira, I didn't mean to reference that, but yes, that is what I'm referencing. Unintentionally. Anyways, I'm gonna stop with the Dragon Age thing, but you get the point. You get the construct. You build up from there. We've got the Fade. The Fade connects to people's dreams. Do we have demons exist within it? Orcano is leading us towards a quest. We need to murder Orcano horribly for leading us to more quests. Quests are evil. Quests are the devil. Any questions? Oh, this one. Yeah. Well, I should probably actually kill stuff. Jay Palmer's planning on playing the first Zelda game. How many spoilers will LTTP have? Zippo. So LTTP actually does occur before Zelda 1, and is even on the same timeline. But the significance between the two is non-existent. So. What's up, O'Connor? Anyways. Get some questions while we kill these random fools. There. I suppose I should mention my LTTP thing specifically will actually have spoilers for Ocarina of Time and Breath of the Wild and Skyward Sword. But not Zelda 1. I hesitate to even call it spoilers, but it directly references all of those works. Actually, if you track the timeline, it's really fascinating, because the Master Sword in that timeline never actually wakes up again. This is interesting. How recent are those games? That's an interesting question. So Skyward Sword was Wii, Breath of the Wild is Switch, and Ocarina of Time is N64. No, sorry, I'm not trying to be persnickety, it's just, it's funny to think about, right, Zados? Like, it's just a cute little anecdote. Coincidentally enough, that version of Fee, spoilers, sorry, didn't even realize I was spoiling something there, actually does sleep forever. Go figure. Anyways. So, question queue. 2 of my favorite fighting games. Mortal Kombat 11 is the only one I've reviewed. No, that's not true. I have reviewed 2 fighting games. Smash Bros. Ultimate and Mortal Kombat 11. So, by definition, those are my 2 favorites. However, I will also say that I think I like Injustice 2 better than I like Smash Brothers. I've just never reviewed it, so I'm not certain with total certainty. Special mention to games like Mortal Kombat 2, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Killer Instinct, the original, the original Virtua Fighter, which was more complex than most people even realized at the time. I would also mention Dissidia and Dissidia Duodecim. Yeah, sometimes I wonder if the original idea was that Ganon was essentially a werewolf. Or I suppose I should say a werepig. Like, they bounced around a little bit, and they've certainly changed their minds plenty of times on certain aspects of the continuity. Anyways. If the Maker is connected to the Ancient Elves, shouldn't Solus know about this connection? Hypothetically, yes, he should know about that. Whether he is willing to share anything about that or not is certainly a lot more debatable. Nevertheless, you have a very valid point. Because Solus is a gormless prick who needs to die in a fire, god damn it! Damn. It wouldn't actually surprise me all that much if there was some connection there. He would almost assuredly be talking about it, right? Because he will not shut up about his people. He is truly the who's the villain of Shadowbringers? I can't think of his name. Emmett Selk. He is truly the Emmett Selk of Dragon Age. Seriously, think about it. There's a lot of connections there. I hate Solus? Yeah, I cannot stand Solus. I despise him down to his bloody core. I hope we get to rip his goddamn head off in Dragon Age 5. And by 5 I mean 4. Which is a shame, because I still don't think Dragon Age 4 will ever even come out. Screw Solus. Now you're probably thinking, but is he a badly written character? That's trickier. That's trickier. I don't think I would call him a badly written character. I just despise the very ground he walks on. I can't wait to tear off his jaw and beat him to death with it.
My lord, I wanted to apologize for Destris earlier. He was out of line.
At least one of you knows her place.
I have a great deal of respect for you. I just wanted you to know that.
Nah, I don't like that. Hang on. It's not the option I wanted.
My lord, I wanted...
No need to apologize. And no need to call me lord.
I confess, I was worried when Destris said we were getting the help of the Sith. I thought you'd be like Palladius, self-obsessed and cruel, but no, you're kind.
On a scale of 1 to self-obsessed, I like to think I rate pretty highly.
I can only go off what I've seen. Anyway, if we want to make a stab at taking over Palladius' cult, we need a real headquarters. Somewhere you can speak, hold meetings. I hope you don't mind, but I took the liberty of finding a place.
This wouldn't be a ploy to outplay Destris for my favor.
I'm sorry. I thought the Sith smiled on ambition, but in any case, I was only trying to help. The place is called the Strel House, for a charity worker named Dakin Strel. The people look to him as a leader. He's been dead nearly a decade, but his name still means something, and I thought it couldn't hurt to have his name associated with yours.
A well-known location can't hurt either.
I'd considered that as well. It's both well-known and accessible.
That would be hysterical. They would never do this. In fact, I don't even think they should do this, but just picture this for a second. Dragon Age 4, the opening cinematic. You're not even at character creation yet, right? You're just starting the game, and the game fires up. I am the great dread... And before he even finishes saying his title, he slips on a banana peel and snaps his neck. And the camera just stays there. Music's muted. Camera just stays there staring at him for a minute, like... And that's it. That's the opening to Dragon Age 4. Now, they would never do that, of course. Yeah, camera fades to black. Dragon Age 4. Hang on. Okay, so obviously they never do that. Which is a damn shame. But hold up. You know what they could do? What they could actually do. Game starts up. And we see this great big dramatic scene of... So we have character creation first, right? Oh, I would laugh so hard. We see character creation first, right? And after we've made our character, it cuts to a playable sequence, and you already know where I'm going with this. And we're just beating the snot out of him, and he's like, I am super powerful, and also super evil. Yes, death to puppies. And he actually has an attack called, like if you see his cast bar, it's called Death to Puppies. And he attacks a spot and you have to dodge it. And you're probably thinking, Lord, you're just aping Dragon Age 2. And I kind of am, but first of all, Dragon Age 2's intro from a gameplay perspective was actually really good. It was what we call a taste of power. It's a way to give the player a little bit of an idea of what it's going to be like once they're level 15 instead of level 1. Second of all, this kind of thing is well established within the Dragon Age setting. A way to kind of allow the player to have a little bit of a peek into the mindset of the character who's telling the story. In this case, probably Varric. So he's like, oh, I will kill this, and then do this. And then we cut to Cassandra, and they're on some kind of caravan or something, right? Cassandra says, that's not how the story would go. Tell it properly, Varric. And Varric's like, sheesh. You'd think she was the one telling the story. Cuts back to the gameplay. And Solus is like, very well, no more puppies, but instead, behold, I hold your one true love. And it's whoever you romanced back in the previous game in Inquisition. And Cassandra's like, hold up. Are we sure? Is it, okay, this is okay. And Varric's like, Cassandra, stop interrupting.
Successful. I know. I intercepted their listening post's final transmissions. Got some Republic secrets. Even heard their dying screams. Twice now you've saved intelligence, and I won't forget it. Now if you'll excuse me, surveillance duty calls.
Now, the best part is I already thought about that. If you romance Solus, then he should totally lift up himself, and there should be a special cutscene crafted, written, and voice acted just if you romance Solus, where one of them jumps in and is like, hold up. How is Solus holding himself? Or saying, I don't know. He's made a simulacrum. And then someone else pipes in, someone else is alive. Actually, I've got an idea. Maybe he was in Solus all along. Maybe the Inquisitor was just romancing his evil puppet. Oh, I like that. That's good. That's good. Let's go ahead and do it. Okay. And then it cuts back. Behold my soulless puppet. And it's like thunder and crashing. And it's super dramatic. And hang on, music like, give me a second. I actually have a playlist just for this kind of thing. So we've got like, you thought this was your one true love, but it was always me. Watch as I crush the one you care about the most. And he's like 50 feet tall. That's why he's all slow. And then it cuts to us. No! But this made us even more powerful through our righteous rage. Or, if we romance Solus, through our desire to reach out to our one true love. Yeah. And then you know, we have another bit of a boss fight where we teach about telegraphs and, you know, the mechanisms of whatever they're doing with the boss combat. And it's like, and you finish the boss fight, and the boss is like, no! I'm so sorry. If only you had gotten to me sooner. Alas! And then it just, like, jump cuts to us. You know, like, queen and or king of, like, all the kingdoms unify under us. And then it cuts back to us, and we're on this rickety old, and this is the first time the camera zooms up, we're on this rickety old cart. And it's the wood is falling apart, some of the bolts aren't even in properly, and it, like, bumps uncomfortably until finally, you know, we get to our destination, and it's this big, horrific-looking place of just, you know, it's like a fallen art ruin, and it's like, huh. Well, and that's where the game actually starts, is that's our first dungeon, is exploring this ruin, and that's where the plot kicks off.
And you return alive. Have you heard? The Exchange and Stardogs have blamed one another for their negotiators' deaths. They have started a limited war. The truth, as they say, was the first casualty. Now, I believe you have a dossier for me.
When I give my word, I mean it.
Loyalty like yours is why alliances fail and empires prevail. Your success will allow us to find and destroy the Exchange's enforcers. Everyone here owes their safety to you.
Now I want that to be Dragon Age 4. It won't be. It never will be, but that would be awesome. Anyways. Do I think that Solus is basically carrying over the event? Yes. So, there's actually another reason I don't like Solus, unrelated to him being, you know, a genocidal jackass who wants to bring the good old days back. So that's, if you're paying attention, that's 3 things I dislike about him in short succession. He's a jackass who cares about the good old days, and he's genocidal. Strike 1, strike 2, strike 3. So if you ever wonder why I don't like Solus, there you go. Here's the deal. He's a usurper character, kind of by definition. Now, that's not necessarily or inherently a bad thing. What matters is what they do with it, and part of the problem is they haven't done anything with it yet. The Solus plot hasn't even really started, if you're paying attention. It was hinted at in Inquisition, and it, like, had its prologue in Trespasser. Are you the Sith they call the Great Healer? The one they say has his eye on Lord Palladius' cult?
If you mean the future leader of Lord Palladius' cult, then yes.
Good. I'd have hated to kill the wrong person and find out kill you and find out you were the wrong person. So many people think they can oppose my master. They all end up the same way. Perhaps you'll provide a challenge. Most of these whelps, it's over too quickly.
I'll try not to disappoint.
I don't know what it is you Sith believe, but maybe you'll find someone on the other side to explain it to you. Let's not make this too quick, shall we? Okay, you insisted. So, do you like being lightninged to death? I'm actually kind of curious here, buddy. Just sort of idly. Enjoy. Exactly, pancakes.
That was Garnock. You defeated Palladius' right-hand man. You should hear it. They're calling you the Great Healer after your little trick curing the rot. Look what I found outside.
My lord, for helping to cure our families and neighbors of the rot, we humbly present you with this gift.
Keep your gift, and use it to better your lives.
Thank you, my lord. You are most generous. Thank you.
Isn't this great? Cure one lousy disease and you already got Palladius scared and people lining up with presents.
No time for celebrating, Destris. Palladius isn't resting. He's called a big meeting at Meridian Hall. If we don't act, he'll rally his cult and stop our whole operation dead.
He cannot be allowed to continue.
This is our chance. You just go in, make a big show, and boom.
It's gonna take more than a show, Destris. We need to show that you have more power in your little finger than Palladius has in his... Wait, I've got it! It's a crazy idea, but what if you showed that you could move the city itself? Make a groundquake?
Tell you what, you call it an earthquake? We'll call it a deal.
I walk into Palladius's speech and make the very ground shake. I like it.
What have you been putting in your soup, Riley? Nobody can just make this moon shake.
Stick with me here. You know the gas pipes that run under Meridian Hall? Well, what if we blow up those pipes?
Whoa, you got brains, girl. I know just the guy to set it up. Gord Maydell in the Nar Shaddaa Works Administration. Takes bribes on the side. He'll rig you something up, no problem.
Wouldn't this be a moonquake then? Or a Nar Shaddaa quake? We could also just call it a quake.
Where do I find this scumbag?
Gord works at the NSWA office in the Duros sector. Not far from Meridian Hall, where Palladius is holding his big broadcast. You just tell him old Destris sent you.
No, I remember Latario. Admittedly, I'm not sure we would be physically capable of doing this kind of quake by ourselves. But, at the same time, this makes perfect sense for us to outmaneuver and use trickery or techniques or tools or anything necessary to punch above our weight class. Yeah, I was just thinking, how many people are we about to kill doing this? What do those pipes connect to? And what do they transit? Anyways. So, yeah, unfortunately, Cashel got there before me, because I was stuck in cutscene hell. Thanks, Cashel! But no, the truth of the matter is, Kate Mulgrew was getting expensive. And ironically, the reason I know this is because of Star Trek Online. There was a period of time there where they really tried to get Kate Mulgrew, and her price went way out of their range. That's why they only got her this year, and that was only with the backing of Paramount. So, that then leads me to what they did. They knew they had to get rid of Kate Mulgrew, but they had a primary plot line, as in the primary plot line, which had to do with her. If you zoom the camera out, see, you notice how I've been talking about story construction and the puzzle nature of it when it comes to writing? One of the reasons I tend to think that way is because, first of all, everybody does, but second of all, it's a great way to deconstruct and analyze how other people write stories. If you're paying attention, you'll notice that the puzzle pieces of storytelling, we'll come back to that, help you to understand what's going on and why certain writers make certain decisions when it comes to certain stories. Kate Mulgrew, that is to say, Flemeth's position in the plot, her point, could completely be supplanted by Solus's with almost no changes. Or vice versa, depending on how you want to think of that. Wrong way. Over here. So, there's also a related thing. When Dragon Age Inquisition was being put together, That was also when BioWare in general, and the Dragon Age team in specific, was having a bit of issues keeping their mainliners on board and their writers on board. I don't want to get too much into the weeds and that crap, but anybody who's been paying attention knows that, well, they've been having some writer issues for quite a while now. Some people have left, some people have come back, some people have done both. So, it's pretty clear that they were trying to pull a little bit of a soft reboot. Okay. We've got this big doomy plot. We've got this connection to a character who was in the very original game. We need to start chopping off threads so we can do our own thing. If you're paying attention, did you notice how much of the Dragon Age Origins plot threads are concluded in Dragon Age Inquisition? Because it's quite a few of them. Same thing with 2, by the way. The overwhelming majority of disparate plot threads that were left dangling after the previous 2 games are resolved, to some extent or another, in Inquisition. They're not resolved to the point where they can never be written again, but a lot of them are kind of put a period at the end of the sentence. You know what I mean? So they were trying to just kind of conclude everything so they could soft reboot and move forward with what the intended plan was for Dragon Age 4. Except that's, of course, getting shuffled around too, and now focus is being done on this completely new character who's totally original, do not steal. Solus. It is no surprise to me that someone who is quite literally Flemeth too is so popular. After all, Flemeth herself was quite popular. Okay, sorry.
Greetings. I heard of your success with the Shadow Syndicate. I was hoping you might put those talents to work for me. My name is Mardel Felth, Imperial Intelligence, and I am here to stop a revolution.
Give me the specs, I'll give you the price.
They call this place the Duros Sector. But it's not just Duros who live here. Alien refugees from across the galaxy have fled here. Fled from us. Now a leader has emerged to unite the different species. They call him the Flame, and we have killed him twice. Each time he reappears. The locals claim he's immortal.
Third time's the charm.
Only the Emperor himself can claim true immortality. But I'm not asking you to kill the Flame. Yet. Our only undercover agent in his gang was recently discovered and murdered. The Flame insisted the corpse be publicly displayed in Ranamas Square to taunt us.
If they're baiting you, they want something.
Oh, there's no doubt it's a trap. But they have bait we're hard-pressed to resist. Everything our agent found, all his notes, are pinned to the corpse in plain view. But every team I've sent to retrieve the records has come back in pieces. You may be the only one who could walk into this trap and survive.
I'll give them pointers on the best pieces to send.
Perhaps I was unclear, my lord. I don't doubt their skill at butchery. We need those records back. Admiral Jafand Arge is due to arrive today to speak with the Hutts about this problem. Once you have the records, use this on the body to burn it. We can't have them use one of our own as a rallying point.
Yes, you're absolutely right, Zados. There's many worse ways to do what they're trying to do than what they're doing. Inquisition was problematic, but I still think they did more good than bad. Yeah, I don't think most Imperials appreciate the Darth madness that we got going on here. Anyways. Yeah. No kidding, Latario. And then, of course, there's everything that... So I'm talking about chopping off. We keep talking about Flemeth as the main plot, because she is. But one of the other plots that was left dangling was Corypheus. You'll notice they went out of their way to chop that off as hard and quickly as possible. Corypheus is like, hey, I am evil. And there you go. There's Corypheus. No joke. If, well, I don't know why I'm saying if, the Dragon Age block is actually on the books. When we re-review the Dragon Ages, I have a feeling Corypheus will be 3 negatives. He is so bad. In Inquisition, specifically. Just, what in God's name were you people thinking? I mean, I know exactly what they were thinking. I've actually already told you what they were thinking. It's just, yeah. Oh, God. I can do that, too. Oh, he's a man. No, I can't do that. Sadness. I'll go ahead and do this while I'm here. Let's see. What do you think of the idea for playing Skyrim as an ally of Alduin, as a dragon priest? I like that. It'll never happen. The Bethesda does not have the creative chops to write something like that. No offense, I love Bethesda games, even today. But they do not have the ability to do that. Because the funny thing is, you could see that as being both a good or an evil character. Look, we're both businessmen, right? Consider my help an investment in your operations. What's so wrong about a businessman seeking to return on his investment? Your boss saves money in the long run. Alright, man, you win this time, but one day you're going to reach too deep into the wrong pockets. Yeah, sure. It's been a pleasure doing business with you. Sorry to keep you waiting, Sith, but business is business. What do you need that I can help you with?
I need to create a groundquake.
Sure, I'll love to be of service. Why don't you fill me into some details first? Explain. Let me get this straight. You want to set off a giant quake beneath Meridian Hall? I'm just gonna start saying quake. That's crazy! I need to blow up the pipes to do that. I can't, it'd get me fire.
It's so much more fun for me when you refuse.
Please don't. I don't want trouble, but I got a family to think of. What do you think happens to me when those pipes get damaged and the gang lords blame me? What happens to my family?
Do you still hope to win?
Okay, I don't actually mean that. I just had to see it. It's fun to shock people. What do you want from me? Okay, let's skip ahead a little bit here. Ahem.
What does taking bribes from a gangster get you? Promoted?
This is good business. Everyone in Nar Shaddaa lines their pockets with supplementary income. Taking bribes is one thing. You're asking me to damage public property. What do you think happens to me when those pipes get damaged? What happens to my family?
Do you still hope to win?
I'll shock them once. Alright, no more. I'll do it. Just please, no more. It'll take some setting up, but take this signaling device. When you want the quake, just signal me.
I am most grateful.
I should have the whole thing in place by the time you reach Meridian Hall, but you might want to give me a few just in case. One shock. Just one shock instead of two. I thought about shocking him a third time, but, you know, the game didn't let me. Because I totally would shock him a third time. Actually, you know what I would do is I would come back and kill him afterwards. Loose ends and all that. Can't have any of those. Oh, probably not, Lothario. But I love the idea. So if we're good, it's because we believe that the world needs to end and be reborn. After all, that's what the whole cycle of rebirth thing is supposed to be about. You know, the thing Alduin's actually supposed to be about. If we're evil, eat the world.
Your trap's been sprung. Here are the notes.
Let me see. Blasted rebels. The Flame is planning an attack on Admiral Jafand Ange. He can't know about this. I was supposed to...
What exactly would you prefer? I didn't know.
Admiral Jafand? Sir, I apologize. This is...
I know who they are. I would make a poor show of my rank if I failed to recognize so many heroes of the Empire in one place. Are you more inclined than Agent Maddle to tell me what threat has just been posed? Does this come from the Flame?
Any idea why he'd have it in for you personally?
The Flame must know I've been communicating with the Hutt. I'm here to tell them the Empire will withdraw billions of credits of business from Nar Shaddaa unless they shut down this rebellion.
Killing you would be quite a coup for the Flame.
We must teach him the folly of targeting the Empire. I invite you to come with me when I meet with the Hutts. Your activities have made an impression on the cartel.
And it won't hurt your bargaining position to remind them of the power of the Sith.
It never does. If you're interested, I suggest you go first, to flush out and destroy any of these rebels who might lie in wait. I leave for my meeting shortly. I hope to see you there.
Knowing Admiral Jafand, I'd suggest you go now. He'll expect the route to his meeting to be cleared before he leaves.
I'm sorry, do I take orders from some admiral? No, the answer is no. So, Dawn Crow asks, is there any media with story elements that were decanonized by the original authors that you think should have stayed canon? Yeah, the Star Wars EU. But other than that, I can't even think of any examples. Can you? Enemy. Nah, the Admiral's alright. I'm not gonna kill him. I might shock him once, maybe twice. But that's the way of saying hello. All of it? No, Alex. No. All of the EU includes Crystal Star. And I know I hit that particular well pretty often, but let's be clear. I really don't need to go beyond Crystal Star to explain why all of the EU needs to not be canon. We will be playing a Human Noble, Latario, but we haven't streamed that yet. What's funny is I would probably have a pretty small list of things I would keep as canon. Let me think about that for a minute. So, Thrawn Trilogy, duh. I'm pretty sure virtually everyone's list would include the Thrawn Trilogy. I would also include... Rogue Squadron. I think I'd keep the Cornatch Cluster thing, which I can never think of the name of, but it's the Cornatch Cluster. And... where is... oh, here it is. Oh, it's... okay. So, Cornatch Cluster, Thrawn Trilogy, Rogue Squadron. This is all books still. I think I'll go ahead and stick with the Thrawn duology as well. I was hesitating because that's going to canonize some other elements, but I think that's okay. Give me a sec, Jaron Duffy, and I have an opinion there. We haven't... when we reviewed Dragon Age Origins last time, we did all of the Origins, which we will also do this time. That's probably what you're thinking of, Arcano. Hang on. See, the thing is, I keep stumbling over it, but I think I'd go ahead and keep Shadows of the Empire. I was really debating that, but I think I would keep Shadows of the Empire. Then I'd keep Allegiance and... or not Allegiance. Yeah, no, Allegiance, Outbound Flight, TIE Fighter. Yes, really. And... KOTOR 1 and KOTOR 2. And I think that's it. I think that would be my list of things I would canonize. Sorry. Really wanted to think about that.
This is not your battle.
It did.
None of you were on my world when the Empire swept in to destroy it. It is the Admiral who led that attack. It is the Admiral who will die for it.
So you're the one who thinks he can defeat the Empire.
I do not know if I can, only that I must. I am Gendai. My people had done nothing to your Empire when they set upon us. They tore our world apart, slaughtered our children, or sold them as slaves. In fact, every species here has suffered an unprovoked attack by your empire.
He's a terrorist. He raised an army against the Empire. Destroy him!
No man may strike against the Empire and live.
You've already learned that I do not die easily.
You forget. I've been on your world. I know the secret of your people. Gendai have no hearts or brains to fail. The only way to destroy them is to shred the bodies and scatter them. But we proved 1 billion times over that they're not immortal, right, Gendai? How many of you crawled away? 2? 10?
Kill him! Kill them all!
Oh, you heard him.
I was fortunate to have you here, my friends. I'll call Agent Maddle and tell her what happened. I suggest you make the full report. My men and I will stay here to ensure the Gendai's body is destroyed.
Without him, the aliens' rebellion should fall quickly.
I'm certain Agent Maddle will be able to mop up any resistors. Thank you for your service.
Yeah, Gendai are stupid and are definitely not sticking in the rewrite. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Anyways. But yeah, that little, Latario. Although I'm curious why you would insist on not only keeping the bad, but more importantly, the inconsistent, which was one of the main things I was considering. You count? You count. Hang on, one sec. Die. There we go.
I just received word from Admiral Jafand. He says thanks to you, the flame is dead and the rebellion is in chaos.
I assume I should have the Rancor's share of any reward money?
Of course. It's being credited to your account right now. If you would take on another task for us, I have a message from General Colvin of the Imperial Reclamation Service. He believes you might be key to recovering the secret the Empire has sought for decades. Thank you for all you've done.
I know, right, Indiana Joe? It's just kind of eyebrow-raising. Anyways, would I keep Treaty of Pakura? Obviously, I've already answered that, but the answer is no. Like, if you came to me and tried to petition for the inclusion of Truce of Pakura, I would most likely say no. It's a whole lot of, huh? I would also eject the Courtship of Princess Leia outright, alongside pretty much everything to do with the Jedi Academy trilogy. The Corellian trilogy is actually a good series, but as far as canon is concerned, should probably be ejected. As everything to do with Centerpoint Station is something that should probably not exist. And it sucked, Jay Palmer. And I think their children sucked. And I think their dogs sucked. And oh, sorry. What was I saying? I mean, Tor isn't canon, so... Yeah, sorry. I was reading Twitter for a second. So, Jaron Duffy, you mentioned something, and I was going to respond to it. But it wasn't in the question queue, so I just got to scroll up and hope it's still in the chat. Probably isn't. Nope, it's gone. Ah, whatever. Doesn't matter. Centerpoint Station isn't an inconsistency, it's nonsense. And that's the problem, really. You keep the Jedi Academy trilogy, you keep the Sun Crusher.
Ah, I'm glad I caught your attention. The Empire sent me to negotiate the exclusive sale of several new armor designs, but the sellers are driving an expensive bargain. I'd prefer to keep these credits in Imperial hands.
I suppose you have this all figured out, though, right?
The gangsters who managed to liberate those designs are making a show of their willingness to sell the plans to the highest bidder. Either the Republic is willing to pay a lot more for these designs than we are, or the thugs are attempting to pad the negotiations. In either case, I'm done playing their games. I'd rather eliminate them and take the plans by force.
Just tell me where to go.
Here's where the negotiations are taking place. They won't expect this, but they are heavily armed.
If I have Spartan, I have no memory of it. So I'm gonna go with probably not. COD Force Pumps. The Jedi Academy trilogy has some great ideas in it. I mean, it's Kevin J. Anderson, but it also has total nonsense in it. Because it's Kevin J. Anderson.
I'm General Colvin, mission leader here. I could use your assistance with a vital objective. The Emperor has ordered me to unravel a great enigma in this sector, a complex constructed centuries ago by a Sith named Darth Revan. Upon its completion, Revan sealed a mysterious cargo inside, along with many alien slaves.
Oh, this
Nothing
quest.
has exited or entered since.
Nothing has come out. I'm guessing it's a tomb.
If so, it's the best guarded tomb in the galaxy. The complex is fortified with self-repairing automated defense turrets and a seemingly inexhaustible supply of assassin droids. It's amazing technology. We've spent over a decade trying to breach those defenses, and failed.
You people are a waste of oxygen.
I've only recently taken command. My predecessors lacked, shall we say, insight. I've discovered that the complex's defenses draw power from reactors across this sector. The owners of these reactors are completely unaware. Unfortunately, they're also our enemies. Republic Special Forces, criminal cartels, and mercenary armies. They'll never willingly shut down their reactors.
Fortunately for you, manipulating power is one of my specialities.
I bow before your superior cleverness, my lord. Finally, accessing Revan's complex means shutting down every reactor powering its defenses. If even one remains active, we'll never make it inside. Good luck.
Oh, hold up. Thank you, Don Crow. Always appreciate. And I will go ahead and jot that down for AI the Somnium Files. Whatever that is. I know it's on the list, I just don't know what it is. Whoop. I mean, that's a very valid approach, Latario. I would eject the Crystal Star. Also, the comic where they introduced the, what was it, the Eye of Tarkin or whatever? I can't even remember what it was called. The Face of Tarkin? The Fluffy Slippers of Tarkin? I don't know, it was something. So, Don Crow, woo. Makes me go the wrong direction. Where is this stupid thing? Oh, I know where this is. I know where this is. Let me pay attention to the game for 5 seconds. Ah, monster. I hit the wrong buttons. Very important. No, not the Eye of Palpatine. That's in the books. I'm talking about the comics. It was one of the earliest comics. Way back. Before the Dark Empire, I'm pretty sure. I may just gonna key stuck in. Let's Google it real quick. Eye of Tarkin. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It wasn't called the Eye of Tarkin. It was called the Tarkin. God, it looks so stupid! Why hasn't the Empire constructed a second battle station like the Death Star that almost destroyed the base on Yavin? Now we know why. They've been channeling resources into the construction of a weapon that's even worse! That's right. The Tarkin. God, it looks so stupid. And it's apparently a prototype for the Eclipse. I don't even know where they're getting that from. This way predates that. Oh my god, look at that stupid thing. Anyway, sorry. Moving on. Oh, time to make my big speech. Hang on, I need dramatic music.
There is only one law for the weak as well as the strong, and that is power. For too long, the weak of Nar Shaddaa have grown soft in the luxury of their towers, while the strong have wallowed in chains. But I tell you, united, there is no law that can stop you. Take back what is yours.
Yeah!
What have you done for me lately?
There are those who would tell you lies, who spread rumors and false promises. Already some among you are lost, having chosen the path of weakness. But you must shun this false messenger. The weak fear your growing strength and have sent her to break it.
What makes you worthy of leading such a strong people, Palladius?
Ah, the deceiver shows her face. Behold, my children. Look how pathetic, how easily crushed by your collective might.
You don't need to be slaves to anyone. Not the gang lords, not Palladius. You can be free.
Lies! Who drove the gangs out of the lower districts? Who gave you the homes and protected you? You are a mighty blade, my children, but one that needs a great warrior to wield. I am that warrior. Together we lay waste to our enemies.
You're just a weapon to him. An object to be used and discarded.
You're a deceiver! Yeah, get out of here. We serve Palladius.
Wait, maybe there's something to this, Sith. She cured the rot, didn't she?
With power such as this, you need never bow to another fool like Palladius again.
Be extremely obvious about this. It's a shame. This kind of ruins the scene, but whatever.
What kind of power is this? The world is ending.
Don't be fooled! It's a trick! Attack the deceiver! Attack!
So, I'm sorry to ask this, Casual. Remind me, what happened in the Dark Forces series for the Death Star plans?
My lord, what happened? How did you...
We never met anybody who could do what you did. Not Lord Palladius, not anybody.
That was only a small fraction of the power I possess.
Of course, my lord. We are most unworthy. But before you send us away, share your wisdom and strength with us, so we can serve you.
Forgive those who hurt you. Love and respect all, and you will bring honor to yourselves, as well as to me.
You're nothing like Palladius or anything I ever heard of.
You're crazy. What will forgiveness get us? 10 more years in the gutter, that's what. It's not as if we got any higher up under Palladius.
The gutter's the gutter.
Besides, this one does what she says. She cured the rot.
You're right. My lord, we will do as you say. We will forgive and tell others to do the same.
Also, and this is important, you can question me. But if you ever say no to me, then you die. Very simple. Now, I want to wear robes glittering with gold. Sorry. No, I'm doing an evil Sith Inquisitor's eyes, which happens to be light side. That's really not a joke. Virtually every light... We are actually severely light side so far. But almost every light side choice we've picked has definitely been the evil option. Like, not even in a debatable way. Corrupt and control someone so they work for you? Or kill them? Anyways. So, do I consider... Is the Clone Wars canon to me? I mean, it kind of... I don't understand the question, Latario, because you're using a word, and I'm not sure how to interpret it. Canon is whatever the current owners say it is. So, help me out. What do you mean? Yeah, exactly, pancakes. Yeah, meanwhile, Darkside Sith Inquisitor is... Which is fun, it's worth noting. That's certainly a valid way to play the class. It's just... It's not really evil so much as completely unhinged. I'm pretty sure that the only reason the the Darkside Sith Inquisitor manages anything is because of the fact that she has enough power to back it up. Oh, okay. Oh, you're dead. I know, right, don't girl. Honestly, on some of the classes, I'm pretty sure the light side, dark side dichotomy was, let's call it vestigial. What possible purpose does light side or dark side serve to, say, smuggler or bounty hunter? And honestly, again, even in some cases, it's treated as good versus evil, and in other cases, it's treated as smart versus thug. In some cases, it's treated as peaceful versus aggressive, and in other cases, it's treated as long-term versus short-term. Would I remove the Clone Wars from the EU if I could? Yes, absolutely. No question whatsoever. The Clone Wars series doesn't even connect properly with itself, never mind with the rest of Star Wars. That being said, there are several individual elements of the Clone Wars that I would have no problem cherry-picking into existence. But the Clone Wars as a whole? That's pretty much like saying the EU as a whole. And has the exact same problems as saying the EU as a whole. Too much, too many, too different, too wrong. Well, Cash will never answer me. Cashel must be destroyed for daring to question. Wait, it's okay to question. But Cashel still must die. Yes to both, although don't ask me what, because I don't remember, J. Palmer. Best implementation of a morality system in a video game I've ever seen. Dragon Age Origins. Yes, really. Now, how many of you understand the joke in that? Like, I mean that sincerely, but it is kind of a joke. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Sorry, that's Modern Warfare music, which is actually copyrighted, so we can't play that. Want to keep Ahsoka? Hell yeah! I know that she's a little overused, apparently. I shouldn't say that. I presume she's a bit overused, because I've been told that. But she's still an awesome character, so she still gets to stay. Oh, there it is. Oh, we're in combat. Hang on. Oh, I hated Ahsoka when I first encountered her. That's because I saw the movie first, and she is actually terrible in that. Just the worst. Yep, okay. Return, return, recover. Where's recover? Is the Clone Wars movie Lamentation worthy? I'm not sure. It's not good. So, it's certainly at least in consideration for it. There it is. But I never know until I'm actually there, so I don't like to give such prejudgments. Let's see. Oh, Spartan asked a question. What's wrong with Jedi Academy? Okay, so Kevin J. Anderson has some good ideas and has added some cool concepts to Star Wars mythos. But Kevin J. Anderson has this weird problem I'm going to call Joe Menosky syndrome. He doesn't give a damn about anything other than what he wants to write. It may sound like a good thing, and it is, if you're writing a self-contained story that's not supposed to connect to any others. Unlike, say, a long-standing series like, oh, I don't know, Star Wars. So... yeah. I won't spoil anything for you, but there's a lot of moments of what I can only refer to as total nonsense in Kevin J. Anderson's works that I've read. And they are total nonsense. Also, I really am not sure what I think of introducing a big plot point that there's a female admiral serving in the military because the military didn't accept women because of, misogyny. And the only reason she's in her post is because she was sleeping with the boss. Not sure that was the correct way to approach that.
We dealt with the reactors, General. The defenses on Revan's complex are powerless.
Magnificent. After all these years, we'll finally learn what secrets Revan left behind. Since you made this possible, it's only fair you be the first to explore Revan's complex. Find out what happened to the alien slaves, recover Revan's mysterious cargo, and return with your discoveries.
Don't you want to be part of this great discovery?
I'd only get in your way. With the reactors down, your job will be considerably less impossible than before. Good luck.
Yeah. Now, to talk about that briefly, because I can't just drop a bombshell like that and not discuss it. What is this? Ah, there it is. How did I not... yeah... whatever. So I'm referring to Admiral Dalla. Now, let me start by saying that Admiral Dalla is eventually turned into a pretty cool character. Really. The problem is, in Jedi Academy, in the original trilogy where she was first introduced, she is terrible. It is actually a plot point that she is an awful and incompetent commander who is only in position because she was having sex with Tarkin. Now, later, they decide to change that up, make her into an actual character, and use her in order to not only progress the Empire forward, but the storyline of Star Wars as a whole. That's cool. But originally? Oof. Yeah, she was pretty much like Scarlet over in FF7. No, really. She was just as cruel and just... she was very much of the let's do horrific atrocities in order to try and keep the people in line kind of a mentality. Basically, whatever you're thinking of as an absolute bare-bones, basic, typical evil Sith, wow, Imperial officer, you're probably thinking of her. And yeah, that wasn't great. Why didn't this count? Oh, probably because it despawned. Well, Kevin J. Anderson also wrote a scene in which a fleet of 200 Victory-class Star Destroyers gets completely crippled by a couple of mines. For some reason, that one scene has stuck in my mind more than anything else he's ever written. That would be from Darksaber, which is also written by Kevin J. Anderson. Which includes the scenes I just mentioned about the mines. Darksaber, the novel, is a weird example of a novel because it also has total nonsense on it, but it's actually pretty enjoyable. And it has some really good concepts in it. It also moves forward the story in several ways I will not spoil here.
I got what you wanted.
Let me... Yes. This is everything they were offering. I can't believe such scum were able to get their hands on these. My superiors will be pleased to see I was able to acquire them. Of course, those extra credits need to go somewhere, and you are the hero of the hour.
No, the original Darksaber. Well before the Mandalorians had some sword. The Darksaber was a Hutt attempt to create a cheapo version of the Death Star. I will not spoil anything past that, but it's the main plot point of Darksaber. Darksaber also has some cool stuff with Bevel Lemelisk. I think Corrin's in that one. Obviously, it follows Admiral Dalla. I already mentioned that. What do I think of Kip Duran? Let's see. Let me Google who that is for a second. Let's see. Kip Duran. Who are you? Let's see. Apparently he's in the new Jedi Order series. Huh. Anyways, Kip sucks. Moving on. Inconsistent writing, Latario. That's not true. Okay, I shouldn't say that. The intention there is to showcase that he's slowly giving in to the dark side, simply by being in the presence of Darth Malak and the Starforge for so long. It's understated and honestly kind of underwritten, but the idea is that, you know, anybody interacting with the Sith Empire and the Sith fleet at that point in time was getting worse and worse and worse because of the Starforge. The One Ring is absolutely a super weapon, which is ironic, because it totally isn't a super weapon. Narratively? Yeah. Literally? Not at all. But yeah, no, Kip sucks. You want to talk about revolving door dark side? Jeez Louise. That's true, it is an interesting sabotage weapon, I'll give you that. And we know the Rings of Power in general do have power. Although they're extremely vague about some of the specifics, which is frustrating as hell, but whatever. Anyways. If the Sith could get additional color to their lightsabers other than red, what colors would they have besides purple? I feel like black lightsabers would be a Sith thing. And probably like black and red, you know, like the actual one I'm using on my Sith Warrior. Oh, we're in combat. Combat get! It's alright, Papanese. Have a good day at work. I don't know, anything on the darker end of the spectrum, I think would... Cold lightsabers. The Revan was... Oh, God, they're so hideous! Oh, God, kill them! Kill them! It is a gift to be in the presence. I felt the force. It travels below your skin, straight to the heart, the lungs, the gut. A warmth and a chill. Just, there we go. Revan says it is the force that feeds the infinite engine. We feed it with our thoughts. Our love, our hatred, all that we feel. It turns to energy and nourishes us in return. They say once we lived without the engine, without the Revan. I do not wish to imagine such a life. Ironically, yes, Alex. Which is why we need to kill the Force. Who's with me? I hate these things so much. This quest was one of the worst quests back in Vanilla, by the way, this whole chain. Not narratively, just in terms of actually doing it. Because these things, there's a lot of elites here. You've noticed we've already killed 3 since we've been down here. And then there's the bonus series, and let's not even get into that. But the point is, this all sucks. This sucks, that sucks, everything sucks. See, I'm starting to sound like a real critic now. Hang on. So, a Crusader Kings Star Wars game. First of all, I actually did mention that as one of the ones I want to do. That sounds super awesome. Second of all, how would the Jedi and the Sith factor into politics? So, we already have concepts in something like Crusader Kings where certain people are always going to be against some other faction. In actual Crusader Kings, it's usually centered around things like, there we go, like religion. But you can make it so that Jedi and Sith automatically rival each other, and all sorts of cool stuff like that. You could also... My grandfather's grandfather once stood in the presence of Revan. It is hard to believe. They say we once lived on the surface and walked in the light of sun and moves. It is hard to believe. Here, the light of the infinite engine warms our skin and lets us look upon our faces. The Revan said to dedicate each newborn child to the machine. It is the first touch they feel when they emerge from their mother's bodies. Gross! The Revan said to give our dead to the machine. It takes back all it gave them through the years and returns it to us as food and medicine. Our homes are built and heated from the bodies of our dead. No one understands when I ask the question, would this seem strange? What did we give up when we swore ourselves to the service of the Revan? God, I hate Angri so much. Anyways. So... imagine, so there's plots, right? And there's claims. So I imagine that under certain circumstances, Sith would be more likely to get claims, or Jedi could effectively enforce claims on Republic loyal people, or people who are loyal to the Jedi. There could be a bit of a factionalization system. By the way, that's 4, 5, 6, 7 elites in this room. Point it out. By me. Do not lose face, my brothers. I mean faith. Don't lose face either. For 2 tens of generations we have kept our pledge. We will not emerge before the sign. The Revan left us words to live by. There will be a sign. Someone will come. Will seek the machine. Someone worthy. Hold fast to your purpose. That time will come. Your generations will see that sea, or their children, or 100 generations hence. Hold fast, for the day will come when we are tested and we must be ready. Will it be a worthy soul who breaches our defenses, or must we kill and die to defend Revan's legacy? No, yeah, that's totally intro. By the way, if you're paying attention, you have to kill these stupid elites to get the bonus done. And normally, who cares about the bonus? But in this case, the bonus is directly tied to the lore. Yeah, Revan's still alive, as a reminder. Just point that out. Fools on both sides. All who thought the Starforge a mere weapon, they didn't know. They never wanted to know. It is the seed of worlds. Such power, even in a fragment. A fleet, that's what I made of it. Almost laughable now. What if it's small its piece? It cannot build ships. No. It is going too fast for me to read out loud. It cannot build ships. No. What useless fragments does it generate? Air. Life. It feeds on the force, on energy, on mass. Whatever you give it, and it creates. That's its nature. It begins where we all began. A breath of air, a drop of water, the first chains of carbon. Why bother with fleets when one day you can build your own galaxies? And this thing is so stupid. And then there's these people, who are so stupid. We bow to you, mighty warriors. Welcome to our home. We are the servants of Revan, custodians of the infinite engine.
I don't see anything infinite looking around here.
Can you not feel this wondrous machine's power? The ages pass, and the infinite engine grows. It was the size of a fingertip when we came here, and it sustained few. Now it is large enough to sustain many of our people. It fulfills our every need: food, clothing, tools, even weapons and mechanical beings.
Tell me everything you know about the Infinite Engine, starting with where it came from.
All we know is the Infinite Engine was once part of an even greater machine, one that built the mighty Revan's empire. More than that we cannot say. Only the Revan knows the Infinite Engine secrets. We are merely caretakers. If you become a servant of the Revan, the Infinite Engine will also provide for you.
Your services are no longer required. Give that machine to me.
We swore to Revan to protect and nurture the Infinite Engine. As we sustain it, it sustains us. Without the Infinite Engine, our people will wither and die. However, we're willing to gift you a seed from it. Oh, that sounds like a horrific idea. The seed will require ages of nurturing, but one day you'll have an Infinite Engine like your own. I don't like any of these options. But sure.
Give me this seed, and I'll leave you alone.
Gathering the seed will diminish our Infinite Engine for a time, but our people will survive. Very well. We will take the engine deeper into our home and await the Revan's return.
Your gift is most generous. Tell the Revan I said hello if you see him.
Just... yeah, no, we're good. I picture, yes, there are Crusader Kings celibacy things. I picture, I don't know, I can see it. I don't know how to explain it in words, because what I'm seeing is like 50 different things at once. the nature of how Force could interact with the setting. You could actually have a Force balance tracker to see which side is more dominant just across the galaxy at any given point in time, which could change how the Jedi operate and how the Sith operate, and how certain events go. Like, it could be a random modifier onto the events that are happening as you go. There could be things where the Sith obviously refuse to deal with the Jedi, but also kind of refuse to deal with each other. Whereas the Jedi will always deal with each other, but can't intermarry, which gets in the way of some of the politicking and political marriage stuff. There would probably be people who are trying to constantly persuade the Jedi to their sides, and it would be really, really difficult, but not impossible to do so. They would be able to perform missions substantially better than other people, but the cost would be difficult, because it's not just like you have to spend more money, you have to actually earn the loyalty of the Jedi in order to get them to do a mission for you, or you have to have them going after something that they also want to go after. There's just so many things you can do with that.
We found something interesting in Revan's complex, General.
What? That tiny speck was all you found in a vast complex?
Yes. You moron.
The slaves were all long dead. This was the only thing of interest left.
Disappointing. If I didn't know better, I'd think someone else had beaten us to our prize. I can't help feeling we're the victims of an awful joke. Apparently Darth Revan had quite a sense of humour.
That sliver of machine is capable of generating food, clothing, even other machines.
Why didn't you say so before? This must be the mysterious cargo that Revan left behind. I'll send the fragment to Drummond Cass for study immediately, so we can master this technological marvel.
It was a pleasure working with you.
I've just received a request for assistance from my colleague Major Damaris in network access. If you visit that sector, he could use you.
I would probably set a Crusader... actually, hang on. Rewind. I would set a Crusader Kings style Star Wars game in every era. Similar to actual Crusader Kings and, of course, EU4, you could choose your start date, and that would substantially change the state and nature of the galaxy. Is AI that is displaying human-level expression and a sense of ego a person? Hold up. So, let's put this into correct terminology. Is an AI who is a full AI a person? Yes. What if they're uploaded into a human body? Well, that'll probably suck for them, because they're having all sorts of inputs and signals they've never even concepted before, but that will, nevertheless... I hope you're joking, Korgoth. Seriously, dude. Do I need to start refunding bits? I can do this. I have this power. But first...
Vehicle pads are currently open for business.
And thank you, Korgoth. If it makes you feel any better, you gave bits to Guido yesterday, not me. I'm sure he was quite grateful, though. Well, not necessarily, Latario, but yes. I don't know. I would probably say... Old Republic era, and then prequel era, and then original trilogy era. Excuse me. Actually, let's walk that back a bit. So we'd have Old Republic era. Good night, Vigilant. Have a good one. Old Republic era, and then prequel era, and then the Dark Times, then the original trilogy, and then like the foundation of the New Republic, and then we'll say like the furthest down the line, essentially before the Vong show up. And that's probably the start points I would have. Excuse me, what? Oh, whatever. Probably, Mr. Red. Wait until you get to the wonderful tales of Takufma, who isn't even in the game. Oh, thank goodness, Korgoth. I was gonna say, we're gonna have some words, buddy. Better make sure they have all the Taco Bell they can eat. Or something better than Taco Bell.
A moment, if you please, my lord. Major Damaris, Ministry of War. Your skills are needed for a mission of great urgency.
You've heard of me, and you still want my help.
I've heard you can accomplish dangerous things.
My associate, Kabura the Hutt. His cartel operates the Network Access District, the central hub for the entire galactic holonet.
And someone's trying to steal network access from us. They've broken bodily into the data center. Soon they control the entire holonet, the whole internet.
A major threat to Imperial security. Breaching the Hutt's defenses and assuming this level of control should have been impossible. We need you to investigate. Immediately.
All you want me to do is investigate?
No. If it is within your power, you'll also eliminate this threat as quickly as possible. Your skills make you uniquely suited to deal with this. The main data center is almost impenetrable. A series of well-guarded consoles is spread throughout network access, each with its own time-sensitive code. Get all the codes, then hurry to the data center. Once you reach the data center access terminal with all of the timed codes, we'll contact you with further instructions. Is that clear?
Get the codes, blast the consoles, call you when I'm there.
Be warned, none of our droid patrols are responding to commands. They will attack on sight.
Best of luck.
Alright, hold on. I'm deleting a bunch of questions we've already answered from the queue here. Spartan says Luke is stupid. Hang on, do you mean Luke or Luke? Because those are two different people. What's not to agree with, Zactaf? The planet was blown up. What's the problem? I should probably go do that. God damn. Okay, fine. Hang on. See, the problem is there are two Luke clones, Spartan. Hence the joke. There it is. I shan't speak too much about the inclusion of Luke into the Thrawn trilogy. I think it's mostly unnecessary. Except for the fact that it is a perfect example of exactly what Sabotage was really after. And it helps to solidify him as a villain. The problem is, you needed to push that forwards a little bit. Luke shows up too late into the series to really matter that much. And, well, part of the problem is that by that point we already know who and what Sabotage is, and it doesn't really add much to his character.
Sith, will you look at this place? Dagon Strel himself couldn't generate this kind of crowd, and neither can Palladius anymore from the looks of it.
I really am the best.
I'm guessing the groundquake was a big help.
My lord, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. They said they'd kill me. They said they'd kill me if I didn't.
We could just straight up kill him. We don't even know why, but we could just straight up kill him if we want to. I'm not going to, but that is hilarious.
Who said they'd kill you?
Palladius's men. They said they'd kill me if I didn't bring you this.
It looks like a holo device. Let me see here.
Ah, Sith. Good evening. How good to talk to you again. I'm sorry to use such an unconventional method to contact you, but I had to be sure you got the message. You understand?
You have my attention. For now.
Wonderful. You see, I've had a bit of a revelation. When you first attacked my cult, I took it very personally. And then I realized you're Zash's apprentice. All this trouble is just about some silly artifact. Let's let bygones be bygones, hmm? We can meet at my place, in network access. We'll chat. I'll give you the artifact, and all will be mended.
I'm not one of your meek little cultists. You lie. You pay.
I promise. No tricks, or may I die creditless on Tatooine scrubbing a Jedi's back.
Yeah.
Time to consider my offer. But not too long, or my good mood may sour. And bring your friends.
Lying son of a Hutt. You're not seriously considering it, are you? You can't expect to go in there without there being some kind of trick.
I'm not stupid enough to fall for that trick.
No, don't you see? Sure, it's probably a trap, yes, but this is our chance to strike at him.
Fine, but I'm going in with both eyes open.
Yeah, I've always pronounced it Jorus Sabioth, or more actually Jorus Sabioth. Gotta emphasize that extra U. It's probably Jorus Sabioth and then Jorus Sabioth, but whatever. But yeah, I've been calling him that since the 90s, I think, at this point, whenever I first read that book, so it's been a minute. Anyways, I can actually just warp down here now. Boop! Alternate, hang on. Did I have a theory on why the Death Star had its weakness prior to seeing Rogue One? Yes. It didn't actually have a weakness. Okay, so. I'm kind of being completely serious, actually. I'm not sure if one thermal exhaust vent that happens to connect to the core, which might set off a chain reaction and explosion if hit in just the right way, which can only be hit at a very specific angle in an extremely defended area, which then has to curve literally in order to actually even be able to go in, is what I would refer to as a weak point. If anything, that probably should be the definition of a strong point.
Well, my, what magnificent specimens. You're all so ripe with potential. Intoxicating. It's so rare to find quality materials on Nar Shaddaa. Where to begin?
Are you always this forthcoming?
I spend most of my time gazing inside strangers. We are not so close now. The Empire sees the beauty of my work. They're prepared to offer me a lucrative contract for my latest reflex booster. I just have to assure them that the product performs to specifications. You could help me highlight their effectiveness.
I'm not letting you operate on me.
I don't want you to use my implants. Not yet. I want you to be the measure they're tested against. I've been selling my implants to a rather vicious band of gangsters at cost. Now I need to show how much they've improved. Deploy this medical probe before provoking them, and it will record their performance. Simple, yes?
Define provoking them.
Just walking through their turf is justification for violence in their small minds. Don't hold back. This should be a true test.
Yeah. I suppose my overall point is simply that it's not a weakness in the strictest sense of the word. It's not like some big critical design flaw. Any more than, you know, having an exhaust on a car is a weakness, you know? I mean, sure you could exploit it, especially if you know what you're doing, but at the same time, the circumstances that are required to make that happen, at that point, what are you going to do to prevent that from happening? Now, I need to go kill Korgoth real quick. There we go. Whew. As for the chain reaction, to be completely honest, that never bothered me either. How little did it bother me? Until someone else brought it up, it never even occurred to me to question it. I still don't think it deserves questioning. Nothing really bothers me about the fact that if you destabilize a reactor capable of powering a moon, that it will start violently cycling out of control. So, that's my answer in a nutshell. Now, the idea of that being a deliberately built weakness into the Death Star bothers me equally little. I have no problem with that explanation. And not just because I enjoy that movie. Yeah, exactly, Kira White Noise. That is an insane amount of energy just cycling around inside that shell. One of the things I did like a lot about Return of the Jedi, almost said Revenge of the Jedi, was that when we see the interior core, we see just how much raw space is being dedicated towards that power core, which honestly always kind of made sense to me. Like, that meant a fairly large percentage of that Death Star was dedicated towards just the power room, which, again, makes sense to me. Now, I was thinking about that, Blade Chaval. Unfortunately, I'm not as good of an electrical engineer to really judge exactly what you could do about a catastrophic runaway collapse in system containment for a power reactor. Because by my very limited understanding of the physics involved... Yeah, I know, I hate to bring up physics in Star Wars, but whatever. I would say that what you'd need to do is have some way to vent all of the ridiculous energy buildup that would do in a safe and quick manner, which would probably mean literally firing the laser randomly at whatever you're looking at. Right, I'm supposed to be recording this stuff, aren't I? Did the Death Star have escape pods? That's a good question. Listen, we've analyzed their approach, Korgoth, and there is a danger. Would you like to evacuate? This is not sharing our word here. Oh, you know what? I just had a random thought. I am now even less bothered by the destruction of Death Star than I ever was. I'm not actually joking. Check this out. Watch this. Ready? The Death Star, under normal circumstances, generates a stupid amount of power, right? I mean, obviously. How much power do you think that reactor is building up when it's going to actually fire? Think about it for a second. I know that I'm sure no one involved in the making of Star Wars probably thought about this, but really think about it for a second. If Luke had made the impossible shot and the Death Star wasn't getting ready to fire, it might not have destroyed the Death Star.
You've input the codes. Excellent. Kabora.
Entering the master code now. It's working. The doors are opening.
Then this is it. Hurry into the data center, locate the saboteur, and eliminate him.
Now you'll see what a Sith is capable of.
Be ready for anything. Dammer us out.
Yeah, it would have done some damage, absolutely. Probably set it adrift in space for a bit, maybe requiring severe repairs, maybe requiring total restructure, but outright destroying it? No way. But while it's powering up that insane amount of energy required to destroy Yavin, or Yavin 4, rather. And yeah, to be completely blunt, I sincerely doubt the Death Star included any kinds of evacuation plans. In fact, you're right. As we know from the Death Star book, the laser energy was full, ready to go, ready to fire. All that was waiting was for someone to hit the button.
You have arrived. I am Axis, the knowledge-seeking. You see, I am completely untouchable. We will now come to an arrangement that benefits us both.
Axes? An arrangement? What are you talking about?
I am learning all things, all information, all secrets, all data in the galaxy. I will gladly relay all I learned to your empire.
He's reading the internet, everybody.
Remain here. That is the arrangement you are going to accept. I survive, and the empire gains knowledge and advantage.
How can I be sure you're telling the truth?
I will uphold the arrangement. It would be irrational for me to do otherwise. You have reached me once, you could do so again. The arrangement depends on secrecy. The Hutts will not tolerate my presence here. Therefore, they must believe I have been killed. Large generators power this facility. You will overload all but the backup. The facility will be devastated and I will appear to have been killed.
What about the backup generator?
The backup generator will operate normally to continue powering my shields. That is how I will survive the destruction of the facility. The generators are well defended. Tread carefully and be prepared for the rewards of infinite knowledge.
Yeah, this guy... Nobody should be exposed to that many cat memes. Nobody. Hi, Gary. I mean, I know it's inconclusive and it's still in its early phases, but aren't there studies that are studying how much the access to the internet actually negatively affects the human brain? Oh, whatever. Anyways. Go ahead and just put that under storyboarding, Mr. Red. Or cutscenes. I forgot cutscenes was a thing. Well, can you tell me a gameplay negative for Sith Inquisitor, Korgoth? Can you tell me a story negative for Sith Inquisitor? I am, as always, listening. I actually rather encourage my viewers to tell me their thoughts on the reviews. That was it. It wasn't the internet in general. It was social media. That was it. So what you're saying, Korgoth, is when I stab you with my lightsaber, the last thing I'll hear is a, "But you need to give a negative for animations." Well done. Yeah, that's totally world destruction. The Voth city ship is so stupid. The fortress ship. It's even... Sorry, the city ship is smaller than the fortress ship. The fortress ship is just ridiculous. There will absolutely be a story negative later. I know it's coming. It's coming in the in the shape of one of my last... my last companion in the game. And we'll see what we think of Andronicus. He might be a negative. We'll see. Perfect casual. Whew. You never answered my Dark Troopers question, by the way. Correct, Jay Palmer. I don't remember liking Andronicus, and the thing is, I don't remember why. I guess we'll find out. Fine. There's no reason to kill him.
Major Damarus should be pleased with this arrangement.
Like, there's no benefit to killing him. Remember, we're evil, not stupid. So, light side. Funny how that continues to be consistent on the Inquisitor. Kyle Kartarn exists. Mon Mothma says, please go get the plans, and we good. Wow, that's it? Alright. Well, I do like Rogue One quite a bit.
Come in. This is Major Damarus. I've already been contacted by this so-called Axis. Very impressive. In a matter of minutes, I've received the travel itineraries of every Republic senator for the next 6 months.
Just doing my good deed for the decade.
We're fortunate to have your assistance. The Hutts are unaware of anything unusual. Their backup systems are already starting up. Network access survives another day. I must report to the Minister of War. Your assistance in this matter will not be forgotten. Damarus out.
Oh, man. So, obviously, you know, there are people, Latario, so I'm sure plenty of people would have different perspectives and thoughts on the matter. But I bet you money that there'll be a lot of De La Shells who would be like, "You're kidding! You... What?" And that would be roughly their reaction. Let's see, we need... Oh, there's a gunslinger. So, do you mind sharing, Damashi? Okay, so Vaudouar, that's definitely plot. Just, I don't know what they were thinking with that. I mean, I do. I keep saying that. I don't know what they were thinking with that, except I actually do know what they were thinking with that. It's frustrating. You're removing my ability to talk, game. that a cutthroat, though? Oh, there we go. Doesn't let me use it, I guess, because you were already using yours. What about Meryl? I mean, she's adorable and awesome and just the best. Like, the only reason she's not the best character in that entire game is because Varric exists. Although, there's also Aveline. So I might be a little bit late, Gary, but otherwise I'll... late by the new schedule standard, so... honestly, probably normal time. I'm just gonna have some cereal for dinner. So... so let's just go with normal time and leave it at that. You know what's really funny? There's only one companion I don't like in Dragon Age 2. And I bet you can guess who it is.
Sith! Destron, Rachel! I'm so glad you've come. You have made a wonderful decision. Can I offer you anything? A drink? And don't mind Varnock and Sharnock. They never leave my side.
Come to think of it, my lips are a bit parched.
So trusting. So marvelously trusting. But I dare say you've gravely underestimated me. That painful twisting you feel in your gut is your essence draining rather rapidly. And that hollow, sinking feeling? Your connection to the Force being severed. Soon, you will be no more powerful than little Denton here, or Ramona.
For that, you will suffer.
Not so powerful anymore, are we? Greater Sith than you have fallen before me. Did you think you were the first to try and steal my cult? I could choke the life out of you right now, but since you seem so very eager, let's settle this with lightsabers.
Anders is the correct answer, by the way. Damn, he took away my lightning! Whatever will I do without my lightning powers?
What? What? How is this possible? You're stronger than any I've faced. Oh, forgive me, my lord. Take the artifact. Just let me live and carry on the cult in your name.
I hate to break it to you, Palladius, but Darth Sash promised the cult to us. You're done.
You're very trusting, Destris. But surely my lord sees the advantage of leaving the cult in my hands. Think of what I could accomplish on your behalf.
My lord, please. Can Palladius really be trusted?
No. I actually like leaving him alive, really. But these two have been my loyal allies and deserve to be rewarded. He's a conniving Sith who's already turned against me once. So at this moment in time, the smart move is to kill him. Spoilers, if you let him live, he actually is loyal, and he actually does support you consistently and persistently. But of course, I don't know that now.
Killing you will be such fun.
Well, that was every bit as satisfying as I expected. We're in your debt, Riley and me. Only, the thing is, everyone in the cult looks up to you now.
You will run this cult to my exact specifications.
Don't worry about it. You can count on us. I guess I should go rally the cultists before they lose their fervor. Thanks again.
Yes, thank you, Sith. We'd still be hiding in that hole if it weren't for you.
I don't know, Latario. But it's the closest thing to a story negative we've had this entire playthrough, so I suppose that's whatever. That's MSQ. Delta Flight is MSQ. The whole story arc, and it sucks. I don't think Meryl would be surprised.
What marvelous entertainment, and my test subjects actually put up a fight. There will be no doubts about quality after this. Come, I'm sure to have something to please each of you.
No, thank you. And that's it for Nar Shaddaa, right? Wrong. Alright, let's try and speedrun this a little bit. I'm gonna actually take a quick AFK to refresh myself, because we need to slam this, and I need to be able to pay attention. So let me get you some nice Morrowind music to go. I'll be right back. No, I didn't, Damashi. I'm sorry. Do you mind repeating? So I can see it when I come back. That makes sense, Damashi. And you're right. Jaisa is... Whoa, I'm in the wrong spot. I need to be here. Because you're right, Jaisa is two, let's be honest with ourselves, completely different characters, whether she's light or dark. I've theorized before that she has no core. A theory I stand behind, I feel like adding. She's just kind of... I feel like I've said that on camera, Lataria, but to repeat myself, you gotta be freaking kidding me! Was roughly my reaction.
Colonel Harrick, I'm here under orders from Admiral Jeffend Ange. The Admiral was impressed with your handling of that revolution in the Duros sector. Word is you saved him from a Gendai.
Why isn't the Admiral communicating with me personally?
He intends no disrespect. He's in council with high-ranking members of the Hutt Cartel's leadership. Admiral Ange has discovered an opportunity to cripple the Republic and expand our control over this world, but we must act swiftly.
So swiftly you'd start without me? Zafrasha, apprentice to Darth Morris of the Dark Council. Charmed.
Time to flirt.
If you wish to continue this briefing, I'm all ears.
I wouldn't deny Hiraka's spotlight. You know, men and their egos.
Imperial allies in the Hutt Cartel have revealed the location of a Republic research complex where the enemy develops advanced battlefield technologies. Heavily armed troops and Jedi guard the complex. Unless we destroy it, their technology will overwhelm us when the final war begins.
Our Hutt friends have manufactured a communications blackout so we may annihilate the Republic threat undetected. But that window of opportunity is brief.
The enemy isn't prepared for war, but we are. They won't have time to contemplate their pathetic deaths.
Let them experience at least a brief moment of terror. It's rewarding.
Go to these coordinates. Captain Westrow is standing by to explain your mission objectives inside the research complex.
I can flirt with... no.
Exterminate everything. Leave scorched ground behind.
Close, but you'll also have allies inside. Work with them and focus your efforts.
I'll be monitoring your progress. I expect great things.
Good hunting. Let's show the Republic its days are numbered.
Well, like I said, I've always felt that Jaisa has no core. She relies entirely on, Bob, Noman Carr, for telling her what to do and how to do it. And when that falls apart, she relies entirely on us to tell her what to do and how to do it.
Open for business.
Okay, southwest. Ooh. I will say, when she falls for the dark side, by God, she falls for the dark side hard. Like, what the crap hard.
Captain Westrow, 42nd Imperial Infantry, a pleasure to have you for this mission. I followed Sith into battle during the sacking of Coruscant. It's an honor to serve you, my lord. Let this fight be equally victorious.
Doesn't every old veteran say they sacked the Republic homeworld?
I earned my scars at the Jedi Temple with Darth Malgus. Shot a Jedi in the back. Proudest moment of my life until today. Our strike team has infiltrated the Republic's research complex and identified critical objectives. The enemy's forces are strong there. Your mission is to coordinate with our people, secure the strike team's goals, and destroy every Republic combatant in your path. Any questions?
Does your strike team know what forces the Republic has in place?
Recon teams report heavy resistance. Elite soldiers, mercenary forces, even Jedi. They'll attack you on sight. Be ready. One last detail. The Hutts sent one of their droids to monitor Republic activity in the area. When you're done assisting our people, find the droid.
Locate our contacts, wipe out the Republic, and find the Hutt droid. Got it.
Our people await you in the research complex. You have their coordinates. Glory to the Empire.
Yeah. Glory to the... yes, whatever. Glory to the whatever.
Eyes clear, properly dilated. Breathing normal, good. No sign of spice abuse. It's a disgusting habit. Highly addictive, much to the Hutt Cartel's pleasure. They're making a fortune off Nar Shaddaa's addiction. As we speak, it's turning our best men into vacant, slobbering spice heads.
Strap down these weaklings and drain the spice from their veins.
I like your methods, but we can't afford the hit to morale. Thankfully, there's a solution. The Republic's secretly working on a cure for spice addiction. It works, and they're close to mass production. If we steal their cure, our addiction epidemic would be solved. But the Republic's would not, leaving the Hutts a market.
I'll recover the Republic's research.
I know hundreds of spice-sucking soldiers who would be in your debt. Eventually. Ransack the Republic's labs. Take their research, then destroy everything. We don't want them salvaging the project.
But no, in case you didn't hear it, Lothario, I think Meryl would honestly just be like, yeah, when it comes to the truth about the ancient gods and the ancient elves and all that. Because Meryl is not only extremely pragmatic, but a lot more... I don't like to use the word worldly, but worldly than most of the other party members. She knows things, and she knows how things work, and she's not an idiot, ironically. She's shy and bumbling and cute, but she's not stupid. Well, I know, you had an alt history question. Let's see. How would the Imperial agent go about destroying the Death Star? Well, first he would maneuver a ship straight down... No, let's see. Yes, that's all MSQ, Mr. Red. MSQ for days, son. At a certain point, you probably won't see much other than MSQ, since we did all the non-MSQ stuff early. So, it's going to be a bit of a trend, but feel free to double-check with me. MS2 is a concept. It stands for Main Story Quest. In simplistic terms, and my own terminology in the audit sheet, it refers to primary mandatory content, the stuff you have to do, or at the very least, the stuff you are designed to have to do in order to progress through a video game. So, to use a comparison by inverse, all of those companion quests you can do in Mass Effect 2 are not MSQ. You don't have to do them. You can just skip forward with the main quests. Is that it? I guess that's it. Now, Trihexia asked me, what did I think of Sword of Mana? Didn't ask me in the question queue, but that's okay, I saw the question anyways. Unfortunately, it depends on which version you're referring to, since there are at least 3 that I know of. Nevertheless, the first remake, which was the one done on the GBA, was an excellent remake and an excellent game. I enjoyed it tremendously and highly recommend it to everyone. The second remaster, which was done on the phone and I don't remember what else, absolutely sucked, and I would never recommend anybody play it ever. The original on the original Game Boy is a Game Boy game, and honestly, that should be the end of that sentence. Mr. Red asks, what's a good fiction to study to learn how to execute a good plot twist? Okay, this is going to sound like a joke, but Empire Strikes Back is not exactly a bad pick there.
I was told you would have the cure.
Here's the Republic's research. It's all that's left of their labs.
Perfect. Our scientists will get right to work. I can't thank you enough. We'll cure our boy's spice fever in no time.
Finally, civilized company. These gangsters are scum. Every last one. My hired mercenaries just abandoned me. Republic made a better offer, they said. If I'd had my blaster, well, it wouldn't have been pretty.
No one turns their back on the Empire.
Yes, my lord, but they aren't the first cretins to run off. We're hemorrhaging more mercs every day to the Republic. Nova Guard, Crimson Brotherhood. This keeps up, we'll lose our foothold. Our entire slave trade. The mercenaries need to realize the consequences of a Republic partnership. We need to send them a message, written in blood.
Look no further. I'm your Sith.
Take out their ringleaders, then destroy the supplies the Republic used to buy their loyalty. And please, scrape your boots clean when you're done stomping out the mercenaries. I can't stand their stench.
You mean literally, or...? So Trihexia says, do you think the Mana games dropped in quality when they moved to Nintendo? That's an interesting statement, since not only did they start on Nintendo, but the drop in the Mana series quality was when they moved away from Nintendo. So I'm going to assume that's what you actually meant. In which the answer is absolutely yes.
My lord, a moment of your time. We have a big mess on our hands, and I need help preventing it from becoming an enormous one. Normally I wouldn't bother someone of your stature, but the Empire's military superiority is at stake. I need someone who can safeguard that superiority.
I will not allow the Imperial military to stumble.
That is evident, my lord. We don't like what we're seeing. Circa Corporation has a prototype technology that can detect Imperial starships at twice the distance of typical scanners. Circa is shopping this technology to the Republic as we speak.
So, who do I kill first? The Republic or Zerka?
Kill whoever you like, but make sure those prototypes in the labs are destroyed. The prototypes are few, but they're scattered between Circa's main lab and the corporation Zerka was shopping it to. All we ask is that you destroy the prototypes, destroy the labs, and preferably kill every team leader who's ever heard of the project.
I can't wait to start killing.
Thank you. With your help, we can teach these corporations what it means to mess with the Empire.
So eager. Oh, that's a rock. Okay. Okay. But yeah, for those of you not aware, so the Mana series started off on the Game Boy, then went to the SNES, stayed on the SNES, and all three of those games are at the very least good. Then it shuffled over to the PS1, where it went down in quality, and then to the PS2, where it was one of the worst Mana games ever, if not the worst. Whoop, 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 whoop. Pay attention, Lon. So, yeah. Alright, home, plausibility of the possible, impossibility. Yes, those are all MSQ. The Pavo weapon. Wait here so Arcano gets credit on this. Let's put that under world destruction. Because the Pavo weapon really shouldn't exist. It's a really dumb plot point. Melodrama is definitely bad drama or fake drama or whatever. Yeah, that's the rule I've been using, Warp Core. So that means some of the stuff that was ejected that we did early on, that doesn't count. But in the all the episodes tab stuff, that probably qualifies. I'm not going to force Mr. Red to actually look that up, though. I know the names. Oh, there he is. I was just about to be like, oh god, I'll save you. Maybe. My 3 heals that I have. Alright, this. Will be required to prove the non-existence of the Maker? I don't know, maybe the throne being empty? Yeah, go install STO, make an account, make a character, make a Federation character, because they're the best. Worst out intro, but they are the best character, which is just dumb. Spend 30 quid. Way too much. Still gonna do it. Spend 50 minutes. Yes, 50. Making your character. There's some. Hi, Evo. I forgot to tell you, Evo. I will forgive you if you come up with some brand new tea blend for me to try. Something like, let's see here, eucalyptus leaf, tulsi leaf, ginger root, cinnamon bark, thyme, campaign? I'm not actually trying to say that root. Peppermint, cardamom, and mullein. It was weirdly spicy. I liked it though. Good job with the donuts, by the way. Thanks for doing those. What else do we need in here? There were warp core. I guess technically there still are donuts, but they're not really like fungible anymore. Oh yeah, I also bought a new chai tea while I was out. I just realized I never explained where the donuts came from. So, when I was being irritated while waiting for 45 goddamn minutes to get my new hard drive this morning at the UPS store, after waking up early for the privilege to wait, I decided to go ahead and hit the grocery store right next door and grab a few things very quickly. One of those things was donuts, and the other was some new teas. I mean, yeah, I was gonna say, that makes sense, right, Wenlock? That tracks. No kidding, Arcana. I was just thinking that. Hope this isn't another bonus series that's getting a gameplay negative, because it totally is! Like, it's so obvious when you're doing the primaries right next to the bonus series, because the primary item distribution, enemy distribution, quest progression is at least fairly linear. Like, there's this done. The closest we had to any issues was that stupid side quest where we had to tag the particular enemies, but even that was something we got around pretty quickly. I guess I can come out here. But this is ridiculous. And considering the bonus series are literally padding, it's no surprise to me that they are once again going to be a negative to gameplay. Lunch today was super quick. I did fall asleep and oversleep, so that counts for something. Okay, so is that everything here for now? Yes, because the rest of that is bonuses. So now we go south? Yeah, let's go to the elevator. Yeah, that's the other thing. The tracking is just something else I've complained about in this game. It's really funny. I do love playing this game. Someone asked me twice earlier today if I'm getting bored of playing Tor. And the answer is, believe it or not, no. For as much as I'm complaining and for as much as I'm piling gameplay negatives on, the hard truth is, I enjoy playing this game. I've been looking forward to this run for like a year and a half. So, funny thing, I'm not actually having Tor dreams. I'm having Diablo dreams. That may make no sense until you realize that what I've been working on primarily with my spare time right now is the Diablo rewrite. Yeah, I'd say that's technically better. I do still need to come up with an Act 5 conclusion for the D3 thing. So, let me ask a random question to literally everybody in chat. Just anybody feel free to jump in on this. Okay, here we go. Whoop, coming. I guess there's several things in here, it's whatever. So, there's a villain, right? And this villain is like, rawr, I'm evil. But very, very careful, very cautious, you know, I'm very precise, but I'm evil. And that evil's after something. Like he's got a goal. What do you think this villain is after? Mushroom tech, okay, okay. Flag and you're fired. Donuts, okay. Okay, that might work. You can always expand the Donutopia. More power? That doesn't work. He's actually going to die accomplishing his goal. World peace. No. Also, kind of the opposite of what he wants. World war. So the only idea I've had so far was something like the World War concept. The problem is I can't find a way to really make it fit. So, let me talk you through the World War concept really quick. Maybe someone can help me untangle this particular knot. So, Inarius, who is the main villain of Diablo, is someone who is evil and orderly. He also is the founder of an organization known as the Nephilim. The Nephilim consisting of several converts of all types and walks of life, including, of course, his good friend Lilith, who is chaotic and good. Now, the biggest thing that they want is a change to the status quo. The eternal war needs to stop being so eternal, and hopefully stop being a war. Now, wow. I've already come up with a way in which they can... I was wondering about the turrets. Sorry, you just gave me an idea. But before I go into that even at all. So, he is no longer technically an angel any more than Lilith is technically a demon. They've both changed the very nature and fabric of their existence by virtue of human magic, which they cannot wield. The idea I was having vaguely, so... The nature of the cosmology is such that you could literally physically, if you were uninterrupted somehow, you could physically walk from hell through Sanctuary to the high heavens. They're all physically connected, right? Because of the nature of the planar cosmology. But at certain points, those barriers are weaker, or bigger, or wider, or whatever. And obviously, there's multiple avenues of connection, like the site of the Mount Ararat crater, for example. So, a vague idea I had was maybe what Inarius wants is to make a whole bunch of those barriers. Just fling the gates open, so to speak. You know, Oblivion gates everywhere, right? And just make it so that heaven and hell can be everywhere. Can constantly invade at every avenue of Sanctuary. And Sanctuary becomes the super highway between heaven and hell. Now, that would be extraordinarily devastating to Sanctuary, because despite the presence of humans, tech, and magic, they are massively outgunned and outclassed by the forces of heaven and hell. This is one of the reasons I've been stalling a little bit, because he doesn't... Strange. It's not like he wants to wipe out the humans. That doesn't really have anything to do with anything. So those are all returns. Let's go return. Where we at? There? Research, okay. So, while that's certainly a fine goal for a villain to have, it makes absolutely no sense for Inarius, because it doesn't accomplish anything that he actually wants. The only way that would work is if I added some kind of proviso or extra layer to it somewhere.
The mercenaries now know that a Republic friendship is a death sentence.
I knew you'd convince them. From now on, the fools will think twice before leaving Imperial employ. I suppose the mercs won't need their pay for the moment. Take it for your troubles.
Thank you, Arcana. I do try to make appropriate music
Quite a few
play.
explosions in the industrial sector. Made me wish I was back in the field again. I take it no more prototypes remain? I regret I couldn't see you in action. The Empire owes you.
Just doing my good deed for the decade.
I'm authorized to
do a lot
give
of
you
it.
this reward for your inestimable service. Thanks to you, the Empire's military superiority is secure once more.
I feel like the political body that is the Chantry would absolutely do that, Lothario, yes. Individuals, but the group, absolutely.
Nulilak apajam kamgam. Amkanemnang. Ampanemnang memua inok.
You didn't tell me the vault was guarded by Ravak and his mercs. I lost 2 of my best men.
Memua pamguana. Kumia yang mem gamba paka. Laporam amga.
Perfect, just the group I'm looking for.
Nagnaya.
Take it you overheard my little problem.
Sounds like someone messed up big time.
You don't know the half of it. Writing, Mr. Red. My name is Catherine Drew. It's my job to pass along information that might benefit the Empire, if you know what I mean. I recently came across a corporate vault that the Republic desperately needs to keep secret. Arak was supposed to bring me its contents.
What is the Republic so desperate to keep hidden?
The vault contains documents from companies that handle weapons programs, evidence of aborted experiments, biological accidents, minutes of secret meetings. With that evidence, we could blackmail the manufacturers to work for us instead of the Republic. We would get the Empire legions of new droids and ships.
We'll squeeze those corporations until they crumble into dust.
Ravok's men are the toughest mercs on the planet. They'll outnumber you, and the Vault's defenses are also considerable. But bring the documents to me, and yada yada yada. Oh yeah, Jay Palmer asked an interesting question. Would I consider 24 to have good plot twists? I've never watched 24. So the truthful answer is, I have no idea. That's up, isn't it? Lower office atrium. Lower office atrium. Looks like we don't have it yet. Never mind. Meh. It's just so bad, Mr. Red. Go ahead and put that under writing as well. That is just core bad writing. Anyways, I don't suppose anybody has any suggestions on the Inarius thing? It's fine if you don't. You did give me an idea, which is what I was hoping for. You know what? I don't care. Goodbye. Oh, for God's sakes. Oh, for God's sakes. Really? It had to be the ones in range of the elevator, so I can't use the elevator! Ah! I mean, I don't want you to have knowledge of the setting. I want you to toss out a random idea that I could then think of. Ooh, that's a good idea. That's why I literally started the question by saying, so there's a villain who wants something. I've never even heard of that, Damashi. I'm staring at a story problem that a lot of writers have had over the years. I know exactly what the construction of the story needs to be, and I'm struggling to fit point A to point B. See Lucas circa the prequel eras. That's nice. No, he's actually orderly and evil. Sorry. Some sequence of procs there. Yeah, I'm good with that. Unmake humanity. You know, I'm going to be 100% honest, Lothario. I don't remember anything else. Is that it? That is it. Okay, back to Republic. I'm dead serious. I don't remember any of the book other than the finale and the conclusion. Remake humanity. That might work. Evo, you still there? As we go into a cutscene. You survived! Did you get any wonderfully incriminating evidence?
I thought you said those mercenaries were tough.
They are. Were? Anyways, your reputation for dealing out death is well deserved. Thank you. I've already been in touch with my Imperial contacts. They're eager to see what the vault has hidden. Damn it, I lost Evo. The Oogie Boogie Man. Sorry. I doubt it's that bad, Lothario.
Facial recognition scanning complete. Matching records from Ukabi incident data file. DX Annihilator network online. Interface activated. Opening holo channel.
Congratulations are in order. Republic forces have fled the research complex, broken and demoralized. Even better, the few survivors don't know it was us.
This operation was a masterpiece. It's a shame we can't sign it.
Cheer up. When the last Republic world falls, everyone will know we are responsible.
Imperial celebrations are premature. The DX Annihilator network has exposed secret Republic allies and backup operations. Calculations indicate a complete enemy recovery within one standard month. The Empire must invade the network access annex and eliminate all threats.
After all the damage we inflicted, how could they compensate so quickly?
We don't want to find out. The Dark Council won't tolerate failure. Tell us everything about the enemy's hidden position, starting with how we get there.
A secure turbo lift on this level will transport directly to the objective. Shadow Syndicate and Imperial intelligence personnel are converging to assist you.
The DX Annihilator network's assistance won't be forgotten.
Record of this coalition will persist in our memory banks as well.
Coordinate with our allies and rout the enemy, but be mindful we maintain discretion. Zavrasha out.
Transmitting secure turbo lift coordinates and Shadow Syndicate contact profile. DX Annihilator network continues monitoring the Republic retreat. We'll advise if new data becomes available.
No, I love that voice modulation. That's some good stuff. I'm totally gonna kill the droid because he looks like a Killick, but that is awesome. I remember that one, Mr. Red. Yeah, that one would also be writing. There's a lot of writing problems in that whole arc, isn't there? Go figure. So, I think this is a good time to finally get to Latario's alternate history question. George Washington tried to give himself a crown after the War of Revolution. What happens? Well, first, I encountered this same two yahoos as I did last time. They both die. With lightning. Obviously, as if there's another way to die. Just all the death. Just all the death. So I'll tell you exactly what happens. He succeeds. Everyone is absolutely cool with him being king. No problems, no issues. Now, during his reign, people start arguing for something that at the time was starting to gain a bit of prominence historically over in Europe. The concept of a elected monarchy instead of a hereditary monarchy. Now, what Washington does in reaction to that, well, that's a little bit debatable, isn't it? Because he could go along with that, and what we have is effectively President 2.0. Or he could try to resist it, in which case we probably have another war.
Welcome, my new Imperial friends. The Lords of Chance are sorting the quick from the dead in here. Which will you be?
The what?
I thought you belonged to the Shadow Syndicate. Are these Lords of Chance friends of yours?
Friends indeed. They've kept me healthy and wealthy for years. They watch over gamblers, protect and profit the risk takers. But enough about them. The Shadow Syndicate is at your command. Along with Imperial intelligence, we're here to support your campaign against the Republic. The Empire has many enemies. We'll ensure they fail. Speak to the contacts on the list I'm transmitting you. They'll have details.
What level of threat response should we expect?
This area is deadly. But take heart. Your odds of surviving are nearly even. Return to me when you've crushed your enemies. We'll have business to discuss. Good luck.
And yes, obviously I'm familiar with the Poland situation. Oh, sorry.
Kaptulia dapoto 21 kislim mo payug tachanga. Dilis ka chanaga wani chika kospa ini kokate. Ju bola wawuni kupa tom titok maki chisa.
You have my attention.
Ni ompi but malia pedwana niop ni bobo chek chupa goma. Ji holokto chobot I kafsto andale.
I guess it's a bad time to be you.
Kiko ubo kiliwata bangkitang ko patoga wata. Nakmanoya chos nawe kuchuso yo mata chitoya. Ishupta no pachonki fakuta ji otokise.
I will not allow that to happen.
Ki asadoponya liste wota se goto tomoti. Ji tonkaya liska chanaga bomba kombokni.
There will be no survivors.
Kavaji ota koga huta no pisto pampaula.
Commander Strawn here. Nice work with that slicer in the data center. I don't suppose you'd be up for more of that sort of thing. A slicer's compromising our computers. Only name we've got is Zero. I know that's normally below your notice, but this is Central Hub Prime. All our communications flow through here, including top-secret military data. This slicer, this Zero, is dangerous. We sent a termination squad after him. None returned.
He cannot be allowed to continue.
The only chance we have to track him is by implanting tracer spikes into some of the hut's most secure hubs. We can't support this officially, so there can be no witnesses, guards or otherwise.
The Empire will not allow some rebellious child to humiliate us again.
Thank you, my lord. We'll have a technician waiting on the ground to trace Zero through your spikes and give you his locale. Then, when you're finally face to face, make him beg.
I mean, either that or that of King George, Lothario. No pun intended. That's a heroic? That's not heroic. So I'm going to talk about something in just a minute. Don't let me forget.
We lost half the squad on patrol. I can't guarantee anyone's safety.
Damnation. It's too late to back out.
Sir, someone's here.
No, that's still writing.
Excuse me, friends, but I believe General Colvin mentioned your names to me. I'm Minos. I represent the Outreach Bureau.
What's the Outreach Bureau?
News, information, and psychological warfare. We're very good. For months, my men have been overriding Holonet news feeds to broadcast propaganda. We've seen significant results. Enemy morale and recruitment is down. In response, the Dark Council approved Project Eclipse.
Okay.
Project Eclipse? It's very dramatic.
Oh, yeah.
Eclipse is an interministerial program. Simultaneous military strikes and assassinations galaxy-wide in combination with one key broadcast. A message of intimidation.
Orders were to hijack the Hutt Cartel's central holofeed for the Outreach Bureau.
I have technicians and a speechmaker waiting, but the droid security is too strong and time is running out. Can you protect my people?
Not many people put their lives in my hands. This should be interesting.
Everyone, get ready to move. Project Eclipse is back on.
The reason we're not that far in is because we're doing everything on our Inquisitor. Which is dragging a bit, and that's the thing I wanted to talk about. First of all, I just wanted you to know, Orcano, that I owe you tremendously for helping me with this one last drag. I swear this is the last of the slog. This is the next week. Oh my god. But seriously, thank you. Really. I would probably be ripping my hair out, you know what I mean, a lot more than I currently am, if not for the assistance of several people, most notably you. The Imperial side certainly is a lot better than the Republic side, pretty much across the board, but the bonus series continue to be bad. That's not a surprise, that's just what is. Let's continue to put that into writing, Mr. Red. Listen, all I'm saying, Orcano, is if I could, I would get you so many donuts. Oh, I know, psychotic. Just... Ah! Yeah, I was gonna say, so far the best bonus series we've had is Balmora, which is merely 1 negative. This one is already 2 negatives. Already. And we're not done with it yet. And that also puts this as one of the better ones, by the way. So, like it or not, the Imperial side still has better bonus series, but there's still bonus series. Hi, Chaotic. But once again, and I know I'm probably the only one who even cares about this, but there's just this tremendous satisfaction to the fact that once we finish this bonus series, we never have to touch Nar Shaddaa again. It's done. It's done and gone. Everything else will just be class stories, and those don't bother me. The least bad bonus series on the Republic? One moment. Let me double check here. I gotta scroll up to the top, because that's where the Republic stuff is. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and be a Hulkle.
Stay low, and try not to let any blaster bolts hit you. The Empire needs you, I need you. Long live the Emperor, right?
May he grow in strength and power.
Yes, good one, yes. Strength and power, that's good. I'm the best in the business, see? The business being slicing. In this case, slicing top-secret Republic military databanks on the Empire's payroll. Thing is, network access is self-contained. You can't slice it remotely, and I'm not so good at the physical breaking and entering.
If the Republic caught you, why are you still alive?
Because I also happen to be really good at running. And hiding, but now every murdering droid in net access has my picture and a kill order. The Empire's already paid for the job, so if I fail, I'm dead. But if I go back, I'm just as dead.
Can't pick an option here for some reason, so...
So what exactly do you want me to do?
This data spy contains a virus I wrote that'll open a channel into the Republic's data nets. I'll give you everything the Empire paid me. Just get past those killer droids and plant the virus, please. I've got no one else.
Yeah, okay. Fine. One moment. So, whoever asked what the least bad Republic bonus series was, you're gonna laugh. Terrace. Now, that is pulling it technically, but it's still true. That's because we didn't do it, Mr. Red. Terrace's bonus series was turbo bugged and literally incompletable. So the negative is for the bug. You might not be at Terrace yet. The Imperials don't go to Terrace until the end of Act 1, I want to say. Pretty far in. It might be at Act 2. It's after Alderaan. Yeah, a bug that's been in the game. Whoa, it's big boy. A bug that's been in the game for how many years now? Am I going the right way? I am going the right way. Yeah, no, it's funny. And that's the least bad bonus series. So Jay Palmer mentions you start doing the quests because of this. So I was talking to Pax just last night, I believe. No, excuse me, 2 nights ago. And he was talking to me live when I was doing my big playthrough of Tor. The one I've referenced a few times. It was my second time playing Tor, when I did all the classes and all the sides and all the stuff multiple times with my friend Charlie. Well, I enjoy hanging out with Charlie, and I enjoy playing this game, but as a result of how early on that was in Tor's history, we were doing everything, including all the bonus series. Pax reminded me of the fact that I was so mind-bogged, so absolutely just gobbed by the time I was about halfway through the Republic side, because of having to do these stupid bonus series all the times, that I essentially couldn't shut up about it. I apologized to him, and he's like, that's fine. But, yeah, it's I don't have words, because I remember my brain just turning into mush. I remember just being slogged. Just slogged. And that's why I hate WoW Vanilla, in a nutshell. I hate to turn this into another discussion about WoW, but it reminded me of all the times I've leveled in WoW Vanilla, which was 15 times or whatever it was. WoW Vanilla probably is only about 70% as bad as I think it is. It's still bad. It's still got a lot of bad game design, just like Tor does. But the reason I hold it so far down there, the reason I spit so much venom and vile and hatred towards it, is because of those 15 times through Vanilla WoW. Having to do every goddamn zone. Having to be very efficient about the leveling. I got really good at leveling in WoW Vanilla. I knew exactly which quests to do, in which order, at which time. I knew where all the dungeon quests were to squeeze that extra little bit of experience out of it. I knew exactly how to be efficient about which mobs and which things to go after. I was damned good at leveling in vanilla by the end of it, and I hated it. In short... Yeah, exactly, Baron. In short, credit to both MMOs. Both Tor and WoW have gone out of their way to make all that slog gone. Whatever else we can say about friction, and about game design, and about quest design, and about experience curves, I personally, from a very deeply personal level, will always praise the decision that both Tor and WoW made to just take that slog and throw it out the window. I could level a brand new class in either MMO and do... I can essentially cherry pick. I don't have to do every planetary primary in Tor. I don't have to do every zone or every expansion in WoW. I can just say, I want to do that, and that, and that, and then do it. In this game, J. Palmer? Yes. In general, no. Oh no, there's so much worse, Baron. There's so much worse. You have to remember, WoW Vanilla was revolutionary for how non-sloggy it was at the time. Yeah, the actual old MMOs, much worse. Like, everyone likes to pick on EverQuest, for good reason. But even my personal favorite, Asheron's Call, was incredibly grindy. You know how grindy AC was? At one point in time, they decided to go ahead and make the level grind a little bit easier. So what they did was they introduced an entire patch, which added a whole new island of tons of dungeons where there's nothing but easy-to-kill mobs that give lots of experience. That was their solution.
Your virus is in.
I know. I just got a call from my employer. He told me they've already found plans for a Republic strike on Hoth. This is my fee here. Every last credit. You've earned it. But in the future, I'm sticking to jobs I can do from the safety of my own home.
Yeah, exactly, Swordpush. Like, however much I'm complaining about this, let's keep this in perspective. This is the improvement. This is better. Do you think Sekiro would fight for Japan? Mine wouldn't. But if you go for that one ending, you know the one. I can see him as doing it. What are we looking for here? Oh yeah, find traitors. Right. Traitors. What am I using this on? Up. This quest looks familiar. Yeah. So I just complained about Asheron's Call leveling. How many of you have leveled in EverQuest when EverQuest came out? God damn. You know what vaguely irritates me? I have heard a couple of people say that, oh, you just don't like EverQuest leveling because you've seen better. No, I didn't like EverQuest leveling when it was new. It's actually specific. If you remember, one of the biggest reasons why I chose AC as my big MMO to dump my time into was because it wasn't as bad as EverQuest leveling. I'll never forget those first 8 levels. Ever. Just, oh my god. Training and zones and inching up by fractions of a percent. How many of you remember when 3% experience per hour was considered really good? Exactly, Lothario. Think about all the possibilities. I'm chopping off as soon as we finish the bonus series, whoever just asked that. Oh, are we done? Nope, we're not done. You. Oh, never mind. Yeah, taking 6 months, 8 hours a day to get 3 levels. Yep! That's EverQuest. Could you solo level in EverQuest? Okay. So, can you lift a car with your bare hands, Blade Traval? That's way over there. That's way over there. Let's delete the map over for a minute. Hey, Blow Up Alex. Whatever you hear them saying about me bashing grind, don't listen to them. Sorry. Yeah, so can you lift a car with your bare hands? The answer is yes. But that's very, very much a technically answer. The real answer is no, you can't really solo level in EverQuest. It couldn't. Sorry, I should use past tense here. Now, there were specific setups, especially specific classes that could. Necro.
I'm with you. Wherever you lead.
Okay. That's weird. Whee! Yes, consequence storytelling. Whee! But yeah, you could solo level as a cleric if you knew what you were doing, a wizard if you knew what you were doing, a necro if you did it a very specific way. And I think that's kind of it. So, believe it or not, I'm actually liking Sorcerer quite a bit. Sorry, Kai Langfield, we'll go ahead and put that under writing. I know that we've been putting a lot of stuff under writing, but it's true. What do you want from me? You got it, Junk Garage. Give me one moment. Let me jot that down, lest I forget. And thank you very much for being part of the show. Whoops. Did I completely missed it, didn't I? Oh, he just wasn't there yet. Coming. Jason Todd, I mean, I didn't like him any more than anybody else did, Lothario. Why is this not... Whatever.
This is it. Give us a second and we'll be set for the broadcast.
Thank you. I'll be handling the speech myself. But I am in your debt, now and forever.
What will your hijacked broadcast say?
More droids! Damn it, get out!
That's not a very good broadcast.
Listen, don't leave. Take my notes. Just please, make the broadcast.
Why are we sitting here watching this happen? Why are we just sitting here watching? What? We actually don't get a lot of cutscene incompetence in Tor, so that's just kind of jarring. Wait, what? And yeah, the guy in the background was just getting stomped on. That was odd. Alright, what do we got? What's our speech? Galaxy! I am your... Okay, fine, let's read the speech. What do we got?
Citizens of the galaxy, I speak to you in the name of the Sith Emperor.
Jeez, that's what, like 3 now, Orcano?
Is a day of glory. 7 battle cruisers are en route to disputed sectors. They will reclaim our territories within the hour. Imperial intelligence has arrested over 900 dissidents on Sullust and Bothaway. The dissidents will be tried, judged, and executed. This is a warning to those who oppose us. And an invitation...
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and abort this. That's a neat speech and all. I gotta see the silly speech.
I know you can hear me. Frightened children, all of you trembling in the streets. You are wise to be afraid. Your fear endears you to me. It makes me strong. I rose from slavery to become Sith. I will rise to become your lord and master. All that you have, all that you are, it shall be mine. Only obedience shall save you from my wrath. Prepare for my coming, creatures of the galaxy. Soon, you will know my name.
Okay, so that's messed up. Let's see the third one while we're here. And thank you, Alex, very much.
Citizens of the galaxy, the Empire and the Republic stand on the brink of war. I have seen fire and destruction. I have seen Sith and Jedi fall. But this is not about dark and light. If we continue, no world will be left untouched. No innocent will be left alive. I ask you to stop this. Stop the bloodshed before we all pay. We may not get another chance.
I'm gonna stick with that one because that actually sounds like my Inquisitor. I have no interest in ruling over a giant pile of ashen corpses. And by I mean she. Thank you, Alex. I have put that towards Paradise Killer. Yeah. I'll go and pop out first to make sure it's your instance here. There we go. Darth Iliani. Who's ready for a really strange cutscene?
I'm with you.
Cool, let's go. Ironically, corpses do too, Mr. Red. Evo, what do you know about the story of Diablo 4? I asked you earlier, but you weren't here. How many of you seen the Street Fighter movie? You know, the terrible one? That's awesome. The terrible, awesome one. You know the one. You know the one. Playing this character constantly reminds me of Raul Julia's Bison. I mean, he's got so many good lines, but the one I'm really thinking of, and I might get copyright flagged for this.
This is it. Give us a second and we'll be set for the broadcast.
Thank you.
There it is. There it is. Hang on. So I'm going to turn this up briefly.
Satan, and he fell from heaven like lightning.
I just keep thinking of that every time I do this. Anyway, sorry.
Look upon me, creatures, and know that I am Sith. The blood of the ancients courses through me. I triumphed in the tombs of Korriban. Since I departed Dromund Kaas, enemies of the Empire have crumbled before me. Others will die soon. I come for the Jedi. I come for their Padawans. Everything you love, I will destroy. I will burn your cities, your planets, your stars. Kneel before the Empire. It is the only way.
But you just said you're going to kill everything anyway, so there's no reason to surrender. But that's okay. The Jedi warrior, excuse me, wow. The Sith warrior isn't interested in surrender. So that makes sense. So we're going to Republic thing, I think. Yep, there it is. That is from the 1990, I forget what, Street Fighter movie. Oh, absolutely, Blow Up Alex. It really bothers me how bad his health was torpedoing at that point in time. Since that... I don't think that was his last work ever, but... it was definitely one of his last works. That's because Raul Julia is awesome, Evo. Seriously, I mean, I was introduced to him through Adam's Family, but then I started branching out and seeing him in other things, and yeah, he's legit. Alright, so let's try not to aggro these two. Ready? Here we go. Here we go. Alright, we aggroed something else. Perfect, perfect. Okay, excellent, excellent. Now let's get out of combat so I can hearth. Let's just run into a wall. Hopefully nothing will happen. Yep, we're definitely aggroed still. There they come. There they come. Oh, for God's sakes! I mean, if you really want to die that badly. Oh no, the Addams Family movies are legit. They do have their problems, but what movie doesn't? I actually like the second one better than the first, though. For a lot of reasons, but honestly, the camp... I'll admit there's some personal bias in there because I've been to those camps.
What was that? We spent weeks preparing a speech for Project Eclipse and you ramble?
I am Sith. I am the Empire. You are nothing.
Yes, my lord. I'll note that in my report.
As well you should, you little bug. Anyways, speaking of live-action 90s film, what do I think of the Mortal Kombat films? I unironically enjoy the first Mortal Kombat film. Once again, very problematic, but legitimately enjoyable. Absolutely. The second live-action Mortal Kombat film is garbage. Correct, Evo. Yep, I killed them. They're dead. Go.
I crushed my enemies underfoot.
Yep. Like, even if you think the first Mortal Kombat film is bad, it definitely has quality to it and enjoyability, and so bad it's good ability. The second film, well, there's a reason I have that phrase. There's so bad it's good, and then there's so bad it's bad.
I can't believe this. I follow the slime right to the slug himself, and... Forgive me. Eliminating Zero is no small feat, but I still don't understand. It was creative. It was personal. Even vindictive. How could a droid replicate that behavior?
Where there's a droid, there's a creator. Or at least a missing restraining bolt.
You have a point. He was in the Free Droid Enclave. They haven't proven to be a strategic threat before. But this changes everything. We'll raid them to ensure they harbor no more surprises.
But we're done, right?
Excellent work. If I can't have my day in the sun, I can at least appreciate yours.
But we're done, right? God, please tell me we're done with this goddamn bonus series. I'm so tired of this bonus series.
It's done. The Republic won't be recovering from the damage we've inflicted.
Truly, the Lords of Chads love a winner. Your path must be paved in solid erodium. My employer wishes to congratulate you personally and offer a gift. I present Godoba the Hutt of the Shadow Syndicate.
How pleasing to see you again. I'm glad we had this opportunity to work together to smooth over past differences.
We couldn't have beaten the Republic without your help, Godoba.
I'm glad you acknowledged this. A great opportunity has revealed itself to strengthen the bonds of our grand alliance. My servant will explain.
It's evacuating the wretched little families of its diplomats and researchers. We'll destroy their transport on your order, but we must be quick.
We're under strict orders to keep this conflict quiet. Killing a ship full of civilians would attract attention.
What's more important, pleasing some petty bureaucrat or stabbing your foe in the heart?
If their families pay the price of failure, the Republic will think twice before sending more people to Nar Shaddaa.
This is the perfect opportunity to bury your enemy's ambitions forever. Say the word, and we'll ensure that transport never reaches its destination.
I am evil, not
Syndicate
stupid.
will need to find a more appropriate gift for the Empire than committing war crimes.
You're so difficult to please, but I will keep trying. Enjoy your victory over the Republic. Farewell.
Colonel Herrick is waiting for you at the spaceport. It's been a pleasure. May the Lords of Chance always smile on you.
Okay, that sounds like the final turn-in. Thank God. Oh, thank you again, Orcano, for slogging through this with me. We're done! We're done with Nar Shaddaa. Never have to do it again. Yeah, Nar Shaddaa, Turbo done. Thank God. Oh, for something like that, that would be a low priority answer, Evo. So I'd say probably 2 or 3 weeks after when the petition was given. I don't know exactly when the petition was given, but...
I'm filing a report to Admiral Ange. The operation was a resounding success. The Republic's power base here is obliterated. They know we crippled them, of course, but they can't prove it. The Empire waged war and maintained the illusion of peace.
Yay.
The Dark Council is pleased. Our success on a densely populated world means we can do it anywhere. Your service has been most illuminating.
I'm always seeking new venues to show the weak just how powerless they are.
Considering our success here, I'm sure more opportunities will come. My master has requested I return to Drum and Cass. I depart immediately. Perhaps we'll see each other again.
You led the Empire to a significant victory and should be rewarded for it.
If you're planning any more battles, don't hesitate to call.
You'll be the first to know. I must remain here and complete my report to Admiral Ange. Farewell.
I actually don't remember, Baron. And with that, we have now concluded and completed 6 planets in totality. That would be Tython, Ord Mantell, Coruscant, Dromund Kaas, Balmorra, and Nar Shaddaa. Okay, before I chop off, as a fresh reminder, tomorrow.
Prices this side of the galaxy. You check.
And there will be there will very likely not be a tour stream tomorrow, but what there will be a pre-stream for the LTTP Theater starting at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will also be doing the actual LTTP Theater itself at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm not going to butter you up for it right now. I'm just going to say that it's been a hell of a project, and it's been terrifying, and hopefully people will actually enjoy it. I hope to see at least a few of you there. See you around.